Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Night Geekery. Hail to everyone in the chat, and of course we've got the hanging with me tonight. Hail.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll have some, not that it's just okay, me and Clobberin times, but hopefully we'll also have some other buddies.
I hope so. Nah, we definitely need somebody else here tonight. Come on, it's a gang.
Yeah,
two of us isn't enough. Come on, man. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah. Hopefully we have Courtney or someone strolling in to save us. Yep. But we'll make it. Oh no, Courtney can't make it tonight. Oh no. Oh well. Shout out to Courtney. We miss you, Courtney. But
come on, Courtney. I'll hope you're okay if you're hearing us.
Yep. So So hopefully Courtney can make it next week. But yep. So so let me say hi to everyone in the chat. Since we don't have a big panel to introduce, we'll see who strolls in. Yep. So Tim was first, so he wins the no prize. So hail to FKH, Tim. Joe Dog is here. Hail to Joe Dog.
Hey Joe, where you going with it?
Oh yeah, well that's a good Hendrix song. Yeah. Hey, Joe, yep.
Almost the word.
You almost got it. Yep. And hail to DJ Play Nice. How's it going, DJ? Yep. And Tim says, yeah, it's just the two of us. Yeah, you don't want me to sing, but yeah.
We can make it, you and I.
Yeah. And Stephen Mack is here. Hail to Stephen Mack. Yep. And thank you everyone who's a channel member. Much appreciated. And the Geek and I is here. And Geek and I, if you're not busy tonight, yeah, I think you got the link. You might be busy, but no pressure. But if you feel like stopping by, please avail of that. And Gap After Dark is here. Hail to Gap After Dark. Yep. So what's we're gonna recap sports pucking. So the Rangers won the first game in round 2. Not to scare off all my viewers, but so the Rangers did win tonight.
Oh, congrats.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. What did the Dallas Stars do for our buddy?
I don't know. Maybe I should look into that.
Yeah, did the Dallas?
So you can know whether to rub it into the 70s or not.
Oh, let's see. So the Stars won. They won the first round 4-3. Okay. Well, I'm too nice of a guy. I won't want to pick on him either way. Yep, Stars won 2-1. Thank you, Tim. Yep. Yeah.
Joe Dog's been reading Crisis on Infinite Earths. Just don't watch those stupid movies. I'll talk about those later if Mark wants me to.
Yeah, sure, we could talk about it. I didn't get a chance to watch those movies, but I did get to see The Fall Guy, so we might talk non-spoilery about that. I think it's doing okay, box office wise, not lighting it up. But maybe we'll talk about the original Fall Guy show a little bit, which I used to really love watching the Fall Guy back. It was the 80s, right? It was
81, something like that. Yeah.
Way long.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It was a goofy show, like the A-Team kind of goofy type show, but not as good as the A-Team, but it was cool.
And hail to Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. So he doesn't mind those sports highlights. So yeah, the Rangers' first goal tonight was the second goal. The second goal was a thing of beauty. It was just unbelievable. Like the passing, the guy, one of the forwards, Kreider, passed to his buddy. And it was like behind the back, like a no look pass, like backwards. It was just an unbelievable, unbelievable highlight. Trying to see if I can find it. Like probably can't. I can't show it anyway. But was a beautiful. God, it was a beautiful. Even if you're not a hockey fan, the passing, it's like boom, 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 boom. So it was great. Some great stuff. Great highlight to see. So yeah, it was some amazing passing. Yeah. So so sports balling was good today. And Tim says, where does the Fall Guy fall with you? It was okay. I think it was like a B. I'm gonna say like a B movie. Not like it's not an A, and it's it's not it's like a fun time at the movies, right? You're not getting Citizen Kane, right? You're not expecting that. And we'll do some non-spoilery stuff. Yep. Oh, and what's Kagan said? I'm not bothering to follow the NHL playoffs. The Flyers that make the cut. I'm more of a Flyer fan than an NHL fan. Oh well, sorry about
that, dude. Yeah,
I did get to meet Mark Stahl last year, who's one of the Stahl brothers who plays for the Flyers now. So he played for the Rangers for many years.
Cool. I watched a UFL game today, but it's about it for sports for me.
What? USFL?
I know. Well, UFL. They're calling it UFL. Even though it's based on the old USFL.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. UFL.
Yeah. I watched part of it.
Yeah, how many weeks are they? How was it?
I watched an 0-5 team playing a 3-2 team, so I guess I got a little ways to go. I don't keep up. I know Dadman's actually keeping up with it all. I haven't kept up with it much because I can't always watch the whole game. I don't have much cable, but there's an it's like a USFL, and is the XFL playing now too?
I think they combined leagues.
They merged, okay. But the NFL owns them. Like today, the Michigan Panthers were playing in the Detroit Lions station at Ford Field. It's stadium at Ford Field. Okay. The Arlington Bungholes or whatever the hell they're called, with their weird uniforms. But I watched a little bit of that, but I don't know why, because it was on. I was at my mom and dad's actually have all this.
I watched a few minutes of it.
I flipped it. Yeah, it's a game. It looks. Their guy made a 60-yarder today, field goal, but
Wow, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'd watch it. I mean, when the USFL folded, they were actually getting some traction, and then they were dumb and they decided to go against the NFL. But if they just stayed as a spring, summer league, I think they would have. They would never been as popular as the NFL. But it could have been, an alternative league for some guys that were trying to get back to the NFL. But they had some top-notch players back then. I mean, they had Steve Young.
Oh man, Reggie White played in that league.
White,
Jim Kelly, a lot of guys.
Yeah,
a lot of guys played in that league. Jim Mora won a couple of championships in that league. Then later became the Saints coach, and a lot of guys. Bobby Hebert.
Yeah.
So
who was the running back for the Cowboys? Herschel Walker. Yeah.
Herschel Walker played there. Yeah, for the New Jersey Generals, I think. It lasted like 3 years. I used to go on the YouTube and someone would put whole USFL games on there. I think I watched one that had Jim Kelly starting in a game against the other team had Steve Young starting in the game.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing how they did get some traction, and then they decided to go against the NFL, and then they got crushed. Right. And then they did. If you watch the video or the documentary on it, then they, I think was it Trump sued or the league sued, or he was one of the owners, I guess. But then they won the case. But the Generals, but they won, but they won $1.
$1.
I guess that was the damages. It was $1 in damages. So
FK saying $3. I think it was $1, but could be.
Yeah.
Max, what's up, dude? Max,
hey, Max.
Max is clinically now. I think I can prove that the man is insane. Last night in one of his reviews, it was pretty hilarious. He mentioned Steve Bartman. Was it?
Yeah, who would know the Bartman? God.
I mean, that was good stuff.
Cubs,
there. That guy's. I mean, do you think he still walks around all these years later and people are messing with him?
I hope not, because the Cubs still lost, right? Yep. Oh no, I just wanted to say this comment from Thank You Geek and I from posting it from the numbers. The Fall Guy opens with an underwhelming 28.5 million, and so that's not great numbers, but
376 total.
It's pretty good for relative to a totally unknown property, though. I have to say, yeah, it's not like amazing numbers with big. Gosling is a pretty big star now, and
Yeah.
And what's his Emily Blunt? Yeah, they're pretty big stars. I think the one thing you would have liked about it, Clobber Times, I think the main guy is supposed to be a spoof of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I
His
heard
name
that.
is Tom Ryder, and then Gosling, he mentions Tom Cruise several times in the movie, like when they make a joke about doing like a deep fake. He's like, "Well, can you turn me into Tom Cruise?" And he mentions Tom Cruise a few times. So the Fall Guy made 28. The Phantom Menace made 8 million, and that's just 25. God, that's 25 years old.
Did anybody go see Phantom Menace?
I did not see that.
I went to some people did. I mean, it didn't do that great though, right?
Well, I mean, $8 million is not bad. It's gravy, right? Yeah, this doesn't cost them much, right? But I hear they did. I was reading one of the experts on quality of films. I'm forgetting his name, but Retroblasting has had him on a few times. I'm forgetting the gentleman's name on his channel, but he reviews all the DVD releases. And he was saying how horrible the quality of the film is because they try to fancy it up and then they just
really?
And they just mess it up. Yep.
Wow.
So Max says he's not the kind to kiss and tell, but he's been seen with Farrah.
It's true. I didn't know hires everybody out to pay. Hey. Oh, I got to stop because not just because my singing's so annoying. It's because I go right into filth mode. I have a really filthy, evil, perverted version of that song, and I'm not capable of singing the real one. So sorry.
Yeah.
But Max started it off, and I was about to totally. So yes.
Max has been on fire with Sally Field and with Bo. Oh, it must be Bo Derek. Wow.
Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. Sorry.
That's a great theme song sung by the great Bionic Man
so
Lee Majors.
Ridiculous. Yeah. It's so bad.
I love it. I love that song.
It's still to this day when I watched an episode of the pilot last night for the first time in a while, or most of it, and it is so cringy.
I know. I love it.
Embarrassing.
I know. You think it's embarrassing? I laugh every time I hear it, but
exactly, because it's funny.
But isn't it supposed to make you laugh? Don't you think? Is that supposed to be?
No, it's not.
I it's supposed to make you laugh.
You're supposed to take it. He's taking himself seriously. There was an episode of the first episode of the $6 Million Man, which featured the Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
Lindsay Wagner, her first time. There's a point where she gets killed before she becomes a Bionic Woman, and there's a scene where
she's in the Fall Guy,
right? But there's a scene. Okay, but
sorry, I'm not joking. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a scene where he sings this song called Jamie, and it's Steve Austin, right? Well, Kevin Johnson, who produced that show and The Incredible Hulk and some other shows, he was at a con one time. A buddy of mine attended that I was telling you about last night. My buddy Scott goes all these things, and someone in the audience says, "Whose idea was it to let Lee Majors sing that song?" And he said, "Well, it wasn't mine." Oh, because he's bad. Oh, so he takes that. He thinks he can sing. I'm like, that is the crazy. It's fun. It's catchy. But let's just be honest.
It's a catchy song. Yeah. Oh no, it's bad, but I laugh.
So
I love it.
It's so cornball. It's good.
Yeah, I love that.
I agree.
Crap. Yeah, I love it.
It is so cornball. It's good. I got to. Yeah. I mean, I'll admit to
that. Tim says it was actually 376 total that the USFL won.
Yep. Wow.
I'd buy that for $1. Yep. And the Cubs have officially forgiven Bartman. He even got a ring when they won the World Series in 2016. Wow. Well, the guy got run out of town. I think he actually had to move out of town. I mean, it was so bad. So yeah.
This is great. Wow. Oh, sorry, I changed your.
Oh, that's okay. No, yeah.
Go. Yeah. I would just thought you'd laugh at that. Phantom Menace was great. I only fell asleep 3 times. Whoa, oh boy.
Guy, I was so excited opening night 25 years ago, sitting next to one of my good friends and nerd geek buddies, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm finally going to see another Star Wars movie. For years, we never thought there'd be another Star Wars movie. And I guess George had planned it all along, but he had, kept it quiet or never really said anything, always. But, years later, you learned that he had planned that and actually had planned the sequels. But God, I just remember the opening. I'm like, is the camera going to bet? Like my friend, like, is the camera going to pan up or down? Each Star Wars movie, after the camera, the opening, which way the camera pans. Like, which way is the camera going to pan? Like, we're taking bets. I still can't remember. You owe me a popcorn if you get it right or something. And the opening scene in The Phantom Menace is phenomenal. I love that. The opening with the great Jedi fights. And
boy, we waited all day to see that. We went and stood in line for a long time that first day in 99. Yeah, with my kids, brought my kids. So
it's a big deal. Yeah.
It was a big deal. And I Bob Barber says Max Rust. He wrote it in the chat even. Oh shit. Rather root for Broncos or the Squealers rather than the Cowgirls, since they're my second and third favorite team. So Cowgirls are your first favorite? We got 3 favorite teams, Joe Dog. Wow. Some people only have Mark had. Yeah. You have 2, so I don't understand the whole. You should only have.
I don't have 2. No, I have 1. I grew up in the 70s. Growing up in the 70s, I was a Cowboys fan.
I love the 70s Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone picked. And I've told you guys before that my dad was a foreigner, and he sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He didn't like the football. He liked. He didn't like even watching. He'd only watch any kind of racing. Like he wouldn't watch, and maybe tennis. He would watch. Yeah, we did watch a little tennis growing up, but most of the time he couldn't stand watching sports. And it was or wide world of sports, like any ski sports, because or the the bobsleds and that kind of stuff. He would not have been a fan of curling. So I had to pick my own teams. A lot of times you end up liking the teams that you're in your family, or especially typically your dad, would like. You just end up liking that. Of course, everyone in the 70s, everyone gravitated towards the Cowboys and the Steelers, right? Or the Dolphins in the early 80s, or a lot of Dolphins fans from Dan Marino era.
Yeah.
But then Hey Brian, but then I converted over to being can you call it a conversion? I converted
be a Giants fan. More the home team, yeah.
Yeah, home team and all the family and friends, watching the Giants. And then of course the Giants got good too in the 80s, which it also doesn't hurt.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a first and foremost a Saints fan, but in the 70s, the Saints were out of the playoffs by November, so every year. So as a kid who loved football, I did latch on to the Staubach Cowboys of Tom Landry. I love that. I do love the 70s Cowboys, but after what they did to Roger to Tom Landry, they can
firing him,
to hell with him. But
even he admitted it was this mistake years later, but a little too late. Yeah.
But I do like
the Geek and I. I just want to say the Geek and I says the Fall Guy starts streaming on Friendly TV Thursday. What's Friendly TV? I don't know what that is, but I will check it out because actually the Fall Guy they've only released seasons 1 and 2. I'm gonna check it out. Is it free? Live and on demand.
I think they all came out because I got a buddy of mine has them all.
No, they're only. I know. I tried to buy them on Amazon. There's only season 1 and 2.
All right.
Yeah, and the other ones were Boots, I think, that I saw. So, it's a free trial, so it's you can do Friendly TV. But yeah, the Fall Guy, they've officially, I did a little show prep, and I was looking to see if the DVDs were available, and they've only released seasons 1 and 2, which is crazy. But I get, you'd think, especially now with the show coming out, they would release all the seasons, right? I mean, you'd think that they would do that. So, but yeah, that was a fun old 80s TV shows. Wes Cagle says, yeah, fan of Hooper, one of my favorite films. Yep, that's is that Hooper with oh god, who's in Hooper? That's Burt Reynolds is in Hooper. Was Hooper Burt Reynolds?
I love Hooper. Don't you have that now?
No, we didn't do Hooper. We did not do.
I know, but we didn't do it yet. But I thought I saw it on the certain.
Yeah, I had it on my.
It is very based on Hooper. I mean, except for in Hooper, and that's one of my favorite Burt Reynolds movies. I'm like you, West. I love that movie. It's underrated. It never gets talked about with other Burt Reynolds movies, and it's great. And I mean, it's one of my top. It's right there in my top, right there after things like Smokey and the Bandit and with Longest Yard and stuff like that. But it's he's a stunt man. It's just the only thing is it's not like the bounty hunter stuff in it, but he's a stunt and it's really funny. Jan Michael Vincent's in it with him. Sally Field's in it, right? So yeah.
Yep, yeah. So then it was right after Smokey and the Bandit. I'm looking at it. Yep.
Yes. Wasn't Sally in that?
Yep, Sally Field, Jan Michael Vincent,
Brian Keith,
yep, Robert
Klein, and a guest shot from Terry Bradshaw.
And Adam West.
Yeah, Adam West was in it. Yeah, for a second.
As himself, yep.
That's a great movie. I love it. I was like, man, it never gets. I mean, obviously, I love it, but it didn't get talked about as much. But of course, with when he's done so many things like Deliverance and Smokey and the Bandit and Longest Yard, it's tough to compete with those. But I thought it was great.
Yeah, and Star Wars and didn't do as well as Smokey, but still made. It was $6 million budget, and it made almost 80 million. So
yeah,
not bad.
I think I know he already did. He had a great song in it too. I know he already did a Burt Reynolds month, but I really think Nick and the boys would like that.
Yeah, I think that was on the suggestion list when we revisit Burt Reynolds next year, probably. Yeah. And Wes says, Phantom Menace was the greatest lightsaber fight of all time, the Duel of the Fates. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's
I think I have to agree with
technically
that.
It's the best.
I did like the one in Sith as well, but
yeah,
these are what's great about that. These are all full-fledged Jedi and Sith at the height of their powers. I really do love the one between Luke and Vader, but that was Luke carrying Vader in Empire. So, because he was trying to manipulate him and he wasn't going to kill him. So, and the one between Luke and Obi-Wan and Vader, they're too old. So, hey, Claude, Sally.
Hey, Claude. And the one in Jedi was emotionally, I think that was better. But the Duel of Fates is technically better. He says, there's another, your sister. And then Luke goes crazy. It's like, if you've got a sibling, you can only imagine, the feeling of protecting a sibling or a family member. So, and technically the fight was much better than, they'd up their game a little bit in terms of
sure,
fight choreography. Yeah.
Well, in Empire, Luke didn't have a chance. I mean, he had training, but he never had any experience. And Vader wasn't. Again, like Jedi takes place a lot long after that, and Luke has learned a lot more, and he got a lot of learned how to use his power better. And the Emperor wanted Vader to lose anyway. But
it would have worked a lot better if they had Rey fight Vader in that first movie.
Because she could have kicked his ass easily.
Kicked his ass, yeah.
Oh yeah, it would have been a contest. But see, that's the one thing I like when Max quotes that song because it's so true. Friday night's a great night for football. You know what that's from?
That is from the movie. The Last Cowboy. No, the last
Boy Scout. You got it close.
Last Boy Scout. Yeah,
you guys did that one.
I got last. Yeah.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Except we all know that they wouldn't put Friday Night Football. They used to have it in the 70s. Once in a while, they tried it, and they realized that it wasn't a great night for football because people were always out. Date night
or at their high school football games too. Yeah,
high school football, you can't really. Yeah.
They
didn't want to step on high school football's toes. So Friday night's not a great night for football. There's nobody watching because they're at the high school games.
And Sharky's Machine, that's another Reynolds movie. That's definitely on the list to do.
Yeah, I don't remember watching that one much. I may have seen it, but I can't really. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke had basic training but no experience. He was basically an intern for sure. Yeah.
Pretty much.
As much as I love Empire too, the one thing that really I dislike about the movie is the timeline just does not work.
It was a little bit yes. It's a little
it doesn't make when you really analyze the movie, it's like you picture Luke being on that.
Right.
Yeah. You picture Luke goes off in the X-wing fighter to train on Dagobah with Yoda, and you figure he's being Rocky for like at least 3, 4, 5, or 6 months, but then back in the in the galaxy, the time compression, it's almost like Luke's gone for a weekend almost in terms of when they go back and forth between Han and Leia.
Yeah, you could have found some way to have Han maybe get her back to the fleet, and then he decides to stay for a while, and then he goes, he tries to stay with the fleet because he's already stayed, he was in trouble because he didn't go back to pay Jabba, so he stays back, and then a couple of months later he takes her on a mission to Bespin for some reason, and then gets word to Luke that, hey, we can't find Han and Leia. We think they're on with the best, something like that, where he goes after him. He could have accomplished same basic thing.
Yeah,
but you needed to explain how Luke was on there, Dagobah for like 5 hours, or a few. They tried to say, "Oh no, it was like a couple of weeks." Well, you might be able to stretch it to a couple of weeks, but that's even stretching it a little bit.
Yeah, because you'd need months and months and months to train, you would think.
Of course, the Force, there's no real time, compression to the Force. So it could be possible if you want to really just stretch yourself, say, yes, it was maybe like a week and a half for Han and Leia because they got lost and everything took a while. And maybe you could say some things happened and it was not chronicled. But for Luke, time had no meaning on Dagobah because of the Force, and he was really, for him, months and months of training.
Yeah, but they never said that though.
No, but you should at least say that.
You should say that, yeah.
Right. You should at least come up with something.
Like a time compression with the Force, or because that I've watched that movie way too many times, and every time I watch it,
I love it. Yeah.
I'm like, but wait a minute, Luke was gone for the weekend. I mean, it's in terms of
they needed a big time explanation for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brian is saying, and hail to Brian, he's saying the Falcon took a long time to get to Bespin though too. They didn't have the hyperdrive, so I took it as a few months.
I mean, yeah, it's a long way, but I think we can make it. Because like I said, the hyperdrive had a problem, so yeah, I could. That's another thing. However, they should be more clear. By the time they get to Bespin, you should say, you should find some way to make sure it's communicated to the audience through the script that, I mean, this has been a couple of months or whatever. Find some way to do that. It was an oversight,
But of course, one of those things when you watch the movie, I think only Raquel would notice that at the first watch.
It doesn't damage the movie. Some people don't like it, but yes, love you, Raquel. No, but a lot of people, stuff like that, if I still love the movie, again, I have no problem noting it, but at the same time, it doesn't affect my love for the movie. But there are people that don't let those things go, and it's the way they
Did people mention that when the movie came out, or?
I thought about it
years
after like the third or fourth or sixth, maybe 7 or 8 time I went to the theater. We had conversations about it, and
after you've watched it,
at the comic shop, yeah. I mean, we had conversations about it back then.
Yeah, that's a great geek talk. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bringing Tony Robbins to motivate that hyperdrive. Yep, is rolling over laughing there. Yep.
I didn't know where your computer, but as the learn to speak, but as the strangest dialect, it keeps talking about wanting to have certain types of relations with Lando Calrissian. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, God. And then Rogue One, and then you find out Rogue One that the computer is why that computer came into being in the Falcon, which is,
you mean in the Hunt and Solo?
Oh, was it Solo? Yeah, it was Solo. Okay, yeah, Solo. Yeah.
Disgusting,
Yeah.
Your computer sounds like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yuck.
So,
but it's nuts.
It's totally nuts. Yeah, but the Duel of the Fates. God, that was a great scene, and they shouldn't have killed off Darth Maul. So I know Dadman's not here, but that's his favorite. He hates that, knowing that that's for you, Dad.
He hates what?
He hates the fact that Darth Maul came back after he got chopped in half. Which I agree too.
Do you? And by the way, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks Boba Fett was flying around in a steam iron. Slave 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Indentured controlled 1. Whatever the hell we have to call it now. It's Slave 1. That's Slave 1. It always looked like an iron to me, but I have it. It's cool. I have a big toy of it, but
yeah,
it does though, man. Come on. It's like someone was looking around. Honestly,
that made no sense.
Let's make this guy's ship, and he's sitting in his home, and there's his mom's iron. Oh, there you go, right there. No one's gonna make a ship look like that. And he was right, but I'm glad they killed Darth Maul. I used to have that argument about the death of Darth Maul. Now, I'm not saying they should have brought him back. That was stupid. But there were people back then that loved Darth Maul so much that they were pissed off that Obi-Wan was able to kill him. First of all, both of those two have been whacking at him for like 10, 20 minutes. He was taking on 2 Jedi.
Two Jedi.
Yeah. I mean, they were teamed up on him. They double teamed his ass. It was a big fight. He did kill a master Jedi. And then, someone said, yeah, well, then he's so good. He could take them both on. Why was Obi-Wan good enough to come and say, but I'll give you a reason. Because he's Obi-Wan flipping Kenobi, and he's the good guy. Yeah. Good guys beat bad guys in Star Wars. I hate to tell you this.
Yeah.
And that's why I beat him. Because he's better. Yeah. He found a way to beat him. And but he cost him a lot. So, yeah. They cheated. They teamed up on him.
I mean, I think, the Phantom Menace should have had a ton more of Darth Maul. When going back to watch that movie, if George Lucas had hired me, it was a big mistake that he didn't hire you and me to help, advise him on the movie.
Yep.
I would have cut out a lot of the Jake Lloyd stuff. And of course, he shouldn't have been picked on like he was. And
oh, no. You know, they had a better casting for Anakin and didn't take it. You know about that, right? Of course.
Who did they have? Someone else?
You ever seen some of the guys, some of the kids they saw one of the, I think some of the special features of the movie. They showed some of the auditions of some of the other kids, and there was this one kid. Everyone said, George, he's the kid. You got it. He is perfect. And if you watch that Anakin, if the guy is, you're like, wow, that kid's good. He's intense. But he went with Jake Lloyd. And Jake Lloyd used to be on a show I love called The Pretender. He was had a small part on that before he did this.
Yeah.
And everyone watched Jake Lloyd. If you watch Jake Lloyd's, and God bless the kid. Sorry, but his audition's terrible. I'm sorry.
He probably just thought he would grow into the role, and as a child actor,
it was tough. Worse than Eddie Furlong, and that's bad. Edward Furlong. He didn't deserve all the crap he got over it, but Furlong was terrible.
Yeah, but he's barely in the movie too. He's not in Terminator. Well, he's in Terminator 2 more. Oh,
he's the whole thing, and it's in the whole movie, isn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
The curling iron. Yeah, it'll happen. Gap, it'll happen.
Yeah, but I love the pod racing sequence is phenomenal. I mean, you don't need it in the movie, but technologically back then, and the sound effects, and it was George, using the CGI or whatever. That was a fun scene, but you could have compressed all of that, and I would have loved to have had more of Darth Maul and Sidious's machinations behind the scenes, and that would have made the movie a lot better. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible movie. Of course, then you had the Jar Jar stuff, but
Jar Jar is the worst thing to me. I mean, I can live with most of it. I think, look, I don't hate it as much as most people. I enjoyed it when we saw it. I really enjoyed it, and I was kind of excited to see a couple of Jedis at full strength. It was the first time we got to see Jedis at the height of their powers. Jar Jar kills every scene he's in for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
that accent. That accent is horrendous that he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, Anakin, and again, I think that Anakin's terrible. Sorry to say, but just to see when we get to Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, those are the best bits to me. Yeah, the race is cool, I guess, but all the stuff with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's badass, I think.
Oh yeah, no, it's great stuff, and the interaction, the acting is good. It's just JT. Padme. Hey, yeah. JT Kirky is lurking for now, so no one bug JT. He's just listening.
Yes.
Devon Michael for Anakin. I don't know if that's the actor you're referencing.
I can't remember any names. He could not be coming. I can't remember any names on that, but I remember seeing that thing, and a lot of people have seen that too and said, "Wow, that kid's good." And of course, George, can't talk to George.
Yeah.
So did they do any? Did they do anything to this new release?
I don't know if I think. Well, they heard that they let's see. I'm trying to find what the guy's name is on Twitter. That was just let me see what find that on Twitter if I can see what I'm getting the guy's. I don't get the guy's names. The guy's name wrong. Let's see.
Did Dad Man go see it again? By the way.
Yeah, he couldn't wait to go see. Wait to go see Darth Maul again. Yeah, let's see.
He didn't know he went seriously.
I don't know if he went. No,
He better have.
You know, he was on Lorena tonight, but I don't know if he went over the weekend yet. Let's see. Where's this?
It was the whole weekend his playing, or
I'm not sure what he did. Let's see here. Let's see. Where is this quote? You know, I'm looking through my. God, I like a lot of stuff on Twitter.
Since I hate the whole May the 4th thing,
Full idea.
I would not go watch it on that day. So.
Damn full idealistic crusader.
Yeah,
so
that's a friend. Yeah, it's a friend of Michael's on Retro.
So yeah. So let me pull
cool.
his feed over, and I'll put his link in the chats. Let me catch up here. So
who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
So he let's see. So he's saying here that let me zoom in here. New reissue of the Phantom Menace underlines just how theater presentation and quality control in chain theaters has plummeted in 25 years. It doesn't help the audio is the latest remix, so it's a shadow of the original mix, which premiered the Dolby EX format. And I don't know what the Dolby EX format is, but I'm sure probably kick-ass because George was all about the sound and, of course, created THX to improve the sound of movie theaters. Disney famously had with Fantasia actually had the first surround sound system in a movie theater, I believe. They had a stereo system front and rear, 4 speakers.
There he is.
We were just
Batman. What's up, dude?
Hey guys, sorry I only have a few minutes tonight, but I saw your topic. I just got off 2 other streams back to back.
Yes, dude, that must have hurt.
I know, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you were stretched.
Yeah. Well. Oh, well, I saw this wonderful topic about.
We got to play this though. Deadman's here.
Okay.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark! Jeez.
You're not allowed to come on unless I play that. So it's in your contract.
Yeah. How much? Did you go see? Did you go see Phantom Menace or no?
You mean the re-release today?
Yeah.
Weekend?
This weekend.
No, I didn't. Honestly, I ran out of time this weekend between us doing a stream yesterday, our streams yesterday about Star Wars, and then today with spent the day with my mom, and then tonight with
I got you.
But you know,
time out there.
But I did love it in the theater. I was wanting to go to it. I might see how long it's going to run, because sometimes they keep running a little bit longer.
It would be fun to see it.
I'd love to see it again in theater just for the soundtrack, and it have one more time where I could go into a movie of Star Wars and hear that wonderful Star Wars and read the crawl one more time and be happy and not pissed off while I'm watching it.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
I know a lot of people have this debate about, well, don't go see Last Jedi because you're still helping the mouse and this, that, and the other. I mean, not Last Jedi, but re-release of Return of the Jedi and things like that. My decision was I'm going to watch it because I want an Empire. I want to have my last memory of Star Wars in the theater a happy memory, Yeah,
I went to Empire back a couple of years ago when they did it. Yeah.
Exactly. This was not a bad movie, though, overall, I think.
No, I like it.
Prequels get a lot of hate that they don't deserve.
Oh, it did. It got a lot. Oh boy, did it ever! But man, I'm not saying it's perfect, but
Clones is the worst one. I think Clones is the worst movie.
Yeah,
with the romance scene in the middle, and Natalie Portman could not act in any of these Star Wars.
No, my gosh, you did not say that, did you? You did not say that, did you?
What did I say?
Your favorite that scene, the romance there.
Man. Oh my God!
My oldest kid watched Attack of the Clones at the age of 2.5 with me. That's a 2.5-hour movie. The 2.5-year-old watched it twice. The second time, the kid said, "Daddy, when are they going to quit the romance and fight again?"
Yeah, I think we were all saying that when we were watching it. They were like, "Just go fight something, please." Yeah, but they did. I mean, look, it's not the great movie, but I mean. It at least has it does have a lot of good action in it. I mean, it's not. I mean, compared to this new filth, it's just I look back on it now, and that's no excuse for this movie to be flawed. But yeah, but no. By the way, did we determine whether they changed anything?
Sorry, I got a request
The
here.
word.
The word. The word.
Oh,
The word.
What the heck is that from?
Love it. That's a request. So did we find out? Did they determine did they change anything for this release or no?
Yeah, let me read what Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader says. He said, so don't even get me started on how bad the digital masters are. The Phantom Menace is stuck as an ancient DI, I think digital, and needs a complete, because they've shot it on film at low res originally, on digital and low res. Needs a complete archival overhaul in the style of the TNG constructions. The DNR usage on the modern versions is terrible. If there were a 1999 35mm print screen with that Dolby EX mix, I'd go to any theater in a heartbeat. As it is, the only official worthwhile video release is the Japanese import Laserdisc with a theatrical cut and groundbreaking Dolby EX mix. But even that has a terribly overpriced video master and, of course, hard-coded subtitles, because Star Wars is cursed to have self-imposed presentation issues. So so he's talking about it. His channel's fantastic for reviews on, the quality.
Yeah, he's cool. Good channel. He's good dude. Yeah.
Blu-rays, yeah. So they basically fuck with them, as they re-release them, and unfortunately, it doesn't turn out so well.
Damn. Hey, Mark. By the way, in 2005, did you go? Remember when after Sith had been in theaters for a little while, and then they came out with like the special digital like a big special, you know what I'm talking about?
Special edition. They did all the 3 movies. Yeah.
No. In 05, they came out with of Revenge of the Sith. Lucas in certain theaters could have it because in this special digital production that very few theaters had in certain locations after it had been out in theaters running for a couple of months.
Oh, okay.
Did you go see that one? It wasn't in every town. As a matter of fact, it happened to be in Dallas the one weekend they did it, and there was a theater there, so I took my son to see it. And he was, of course, very young at the time. We had to find the special theater way out in the sticks that actually had it, because not every theater could play it. It was like a special, gigantic, and I don't know if you remember that.
It wasn't IMAX, was it, or no?
It wasn't IMAX. It was before IMAX. This was
sounds like the kind of thing that would have been like in a New York City or LA.
Yeah, it was Dallas, but there were a lot of
like a special.
Oh God, I can't remember. Special showing, special digital something or other. It was like only on. I mean, I know the movie was shot on digital, right? But
yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, because it was one of the movies shot on digital, which kind of messed it up too, because the resolution back then wasn't.
It was when it was still showing in theaters, but it was like they just come out with a special. It wasn't like anything added to it so much, but it was supposed to be this extraordinary, like picture and big special thingy, whatever, sound and stuff.
Yeah, and better sound. We've got another request from Max Redstone.
You don't do heavy metal in Dublin, I mean.
In what?
In Dublin, I mean, you can't.
In Dublin? She means Dolby, all right? She means Dolby.
That's one of my favorite.
Yeah. See, I like this movie. I hope that I'll have to look to see how long it's going to be out. Sometimes they leave them for a weekend, and sometimes they leave them for longer. I did get to see the Alien 45th anniversary last weekend.
Yeah, that was cool. And the missus went with you, right?
Yes, that was.
She scared. That was her first time seeing it.
Well, she had seen it before,
Right?
but had forgotten most of
She'd
it.
seen it. Okay.
But she had forgotten most of it. But that was truly the first time I've watched the movie. And honestly, I missed out. I should have watched it a long time ago.
I think it was much more shocking back when it came out.
I think so too.
Alien, and we've seen so much. We see so much gore on TV now. I mean, if you watch this TV series Bones, I mean, they have the dead bodies. Unfortunately, there.
But I can appreciate why everybody liked it, because it did have those moments. It had the intensity. It didn't have the bang bang pew pew. Like Aliens, but I actually saw it and appreciated it for what it was, and it was I think a very well done movie. But I could sit there and watch stuff and seeing,
right,
why didn't you guys get this right after Alien 3 and Alien, all these other things? Why do y'all keep screwing it up? Because you had something there with the space jockey, with the aliens themselves, and then we got after aliens. I don't know. Although I think this new movie that's coming out could be good. He interviewed Ridley Scott before the showing. If he stays in classic with aliens and Alien, it probably could be good. But you know what? I'll believe it when I see it.
It'll never be the same, though.
Yeah.
No, but it actually looked like it had some good scenes in it. But then again, trailers are deceiving always.
Right.
Either they have all the movie in it, or they deceive you to where they're really going with it. So,
yeah, when that came out in 1979, in the months leading up to its release, I was going to every Saturday. I would get dropped off at the theater so I could watch Superman the movie over and over again, and they would show that scary trailer for it.
Yep.
But I kind of wanted to see it, but I was I think it was like 15 years old, and it was an R-rated movie, so I didn't see it in the theater when it was released, and I was like, I didn't really care that much either because it wasn't like, And then of course everyone fell in love with it, and then I saw it later, on cable or whatever. But I did love Aliens. I like Aliens better, but
I do too. That's kind of how I fall with it. But that's what we had in 2020 when our theaters reopened. We got like Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, movies that I'd never seen on the big screen. We got to do it. But now also Fathom Events has different movies. Like Blazing Saddles is going to be back in the theaters this year. And we've seen it once.
Really?
We have seen it a couple years ago, and it was the real unedited Blazing Saddles.
Was edited?
No, unedited.
Unedited. Oh, if they edited it, I would have a fit.
No, this was a couple years ago, and it's scheduled on Fathom Events schedule this year. So,
where are the women at?
Can you imagine the disclaimer they're going to do with that?
They didn't, though. From what if they change.
Did you say Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles.
At the theater, I mean. I'm talking about at the theater.
They did not have a disclaimer when we saw it.
Didn't you say it's? Oh, they showed it at the theater a few years ago. I thought you said it's coming out at the theater.
Yeah. No, but it is again. Yes, it's in Fathom Events.
Well, that was a few years ago, dude. This is 2024. That was because on the the streaming services on now. I think it's Max. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
There's with some dumb woman comes on there before the movie when you turn it on.
Yeah,
and gives this big disclaimer explanation about how basically they're terrified people are going to be triggered by it. So she has to give this dumb big sermon about it's just from a different time. Shut up, get out of here with this crap. It's really stupid, and I'm wondering at the Fathom event they might not. It'll probably be somebody from the Turner Classic Movies talking about it. But
yeah, it's that one particular guy that's part of the Young Turks group. Yeah, so
no, this is some woman. I mean, some professor woman or whatever. But yeah, it's on. It was on there last I looked. I don't know if it's
Mark. I'm going to share a link with you.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to put it in the private chat. But
Max does do that. Putin's cat. I saw it.
This is the full schedule for this year. I know I could put the link, but I'd rather, since it's your channel, you can do it here. But that's the link to all of them. It's got because they've got you'll see about. I mean, see now they got South Park coming out, but I don't want to watch it. I watched that once, and to me, it lost it without the bleeping. But you got Steel Magnolias, the Muppet movie,
Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind. Oh, that's gonna have the
Never-Ending Story 40th anniversary.
Yeah, so here it was better. I'll see the.
I saw the scariest movie you're ever going to see today. By the way,
what's that?
I was at my mom and dad's. Like they actually cable. I don't have any cable, so we're flipping channels on it. I landed on Die Hard, and you can't land on Die Hard without stopping. You can't do it. And I came in there. They it was starting in the middle. They wanted to watch it too. It was on FX. All the best curse words are cut out. It's all chopped up for TV. I didn't think they still did that anymore like that. I mean, how do you make Die Hard? It was painful to watch. It was almost fascinating. It was so, yippee-ki-yay, nothing. This doesn't even have the replacement words. It's got either bleeps or they just chop the whole word.
I'd rather have them have bleep instead of having like mother.
I know. I'd rather not have it at all, but I hear you.
I think the bleep works.
But see,
Die Hard 2 has the like a a little like apparently like a 16-year-old kid doing the fake lines for him.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
hilarious.
see, South Park was like, I thought it would be cool, but it was too much cussing. It was like I learned to appreciate the bleeping because it was like,
It's got to
it
have
was
the
like,
cussing.
yeah.
Oh my god, I was dying
Yeah.
watching South Park because
It's
I
gotta-
went with
couldn't
my
do it. I just,
friend,
yeah.
buddy, and the next day at work we had to make sure we didn't start singing the Uncle Bleeper song because this
Oh,
music
gosh.
was so it's show tunes music, right? You know, they're earworms. And they're
Yeah.
and then you're at the water fountain, you're like, you bleep, 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 Uncle bleep, bleep, bleep. You know,
Yeah.
you're like you start singing it, you know, like Craig, did you start singing Uncle Bleeper out loud a few times? He's like, yeah, I had to control myself because it's an earworm, yeah.
So they took it off of Max because Blazing Saddles was on Max a few months ago.
Yeah, it's not on Max. Wait, is it Max? It says Poon's
But they
Cat.
took it off
Who
because it
was
was
the
on there.
actress? A Never-Ending Story. God, she looks like Charlize Theron there a little bit. I'm forgetting who that was. It's
Was
obviously
that a
not-
remake of that? Or not?
No. But it's the 40th anniversary. But I'm trying. She does kind of look a little bit like Furiosa. Rear Window, one of the all-time great movies. Mean Girls, 20 years. I mean, this might do well. That's a cult. That's got a cult following. That movie. That's peak Lindsay Lohan.
Blazing Saddles, September.
Yeah.
Rear Window. That's cool.
And Fifth Element.
Yeah.
I love
Phil-
Fifth Element theater. That was great. I mean,
I did too.
Phil Element.
Yeah. Fifth Element. Fan of that one.
Yeah, it was that's hilarious. The Die Hard 2. I mean, it is disturbing, but it's so funny that voice. The guy did the ADRs, he calls it. He couldn't be bothered to do. Bruce Willis couldn't, like the replacement words instead of chopping them out like they did in the first movie.
Yeah.
So there's a word, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Oh yes.
Mr. Falcon is like a 16-year-old kid doing it.
Yeah.
Just like you say, just cut it out.
Yeah.
It's still terrible to cut it out, but just cut it out.
Better than a weird ass line like that. Just Mr. Falcon. I remember that. Yeah, now as you mention it. Oh, that's horrible. That's probably one of the worst edits ever.
Oh, I guess. Oh, they're gonna have Leonard Maltin on. I guess maybe I'll introduce the film. I guess.
Well, that would be new. That would be.
Is he still around? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's different because they used to have the Ben guy from the Young Turks, Ben Mankiewicz or something.
Yeah.
But Leonard Maltin would be really, really cool.
Ben Mankiewicz. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was he on Young Turks? Because he wasn't so bad when he was introduced movies.
Well, he was part of them at one point in the past. I know an election coverage things one time. So, no, but Mark, I do need to head out though. I got a busy day tomorrow.
No,
I got to get over to Mom. So I wanted to say hi though, since you guys were live talking Star Wars.
Darth Maul lives. Everyone put in the chat. Darth Maul lives for Dad
Darth
Man.
Maul lives.
He's dead. He got cut in half, never to be seen from again. There you go.
They brought him back.
Don't kill him in the first place. That's what I've been saying all along.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they you know how that goes. They always bring characters back. It's like in comics. At least he got killed again. Got destroyed by the
thank
Emperor.
you, JT Kirk. Yeah, jeez. Could not be reached for the comment. You guys are great, but hey, I got to run to Mom's. Get over there tonight. You guys have a good night.
Be good, man.
Yeah,
hope
take care, guys.
Hope she's feeling better.
Like that man out with
best to your mom.
Go. Yep, take
I
care.
will.
Yep.
I'll pass it along. Thanks, Mark. Bye.
Doing good. Yep. Take care. Thank you for stopping
Hi,
in.
buddy.
Yep. So here, once Dad Man leaves, we always gotta play this. Yep.
Where'd they go?
Right there.
Oh, screw you!
The Dad Man classic. Yep. For a little bit. Yeah. Clone him. Oh yeah, you could clone him, right? Yeah. And Ray Park,
Clone him.
He was just so good. Ray Park at the martial arts that he added a lot to that character. Although we talk about having CGI and all the special effects.
Yeah. But people went so nuts for that because they killed him, and some people loved I remember back then, even people who were criticizing didn't like the movie much were so nuts for Darth Maul. They said they were all dressing like it was great if you liked the character, But they were forgetting the fact that Star Wars is about heroes. That means villains are just there for the heroes. You can think, for example, we love Darth Vader as a character, but we want him to lose. And if they kill Darth Vader, of course they keep bringing him back. But this kind of his story. Any other villain in Star Wars is fair game. I mean, Governor Tarkin's a great villain. Boom, he's dead with the Death Star. Too bad. And they were all mad just because they like him better than if you like.
You're not supposed to like the villain, but you're supposed to be scared of the villain.
Supposed to be, he's supposed to lose. In other words, we love Vader as a villain. He's a great villain, but he's crucial to Star Wars. Darth Maul is just a villain, just like if you see what I'm saying, he's a backup villain. He's important enough to fight, and the hero needs to look good by kicking his ass. That's what heroic fiction, villains in heroic fiction are for. They're for the hero to have a stronger opponent and to defeat them.
But the strength of the villain makes the story that much
right. And he's a good, and really he didn't have any personality. Darth Maul. Darth Vader has personality.
Yeah, Darth Maul doesn't. He's just a kick-ass character in the makeup, and if you've spelled that makeup out for me, I'm like, they're obviously tattoos, but it's like that doesn't work, but it does work, and it's right. It does evoke something. He
looks cool. Yeah. I mean, as a villain,
and Vader, his outfit is modeled somewhat on it's a combination of Doctor Doom and Asian influences. And you can kind of see that a little bit in Darth Maul.
Now, I hate to say it to Dad, man, but on Clone Wars, I know he didn't like him bringing him back, but they did give him a personality.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and it's pretty cool. I mean,
but it's they didn't think this character would become that popular, I think, too.
No, it was supposed to be a one and done. He gets his butt kicked and boom, he's gone.
Because what they could have done, if he had like a, arm cut off or leg cut off, and fell, they could have left it, kind of ambiguous. But the way he gets chopped in half there, it's like,
but he's an alien. I mean, and you can figure the wound was cauterized, and they,
well, high tech.
It was the middle section. Maybe alien is they did found a way. I know he doesn't like to bring him back, and I understand that.
Yeah,
but they found a credible science fantasy way to do it. I'm not saying they should have brought him back for the cartoon. That was fan wank, but that's why they did it. But it was still well done on the cartoon, I thought.
Yeah. But it's just the way that he's sliced in half. It's not like he's sliced, loses a leg. It seems kind of ridiculous. You'd have to have
that, but it's Star Wars.
Medical droids or someone, and they didn't show anything there. So it was.
Well, look at Vader. Look how messed up he was.
Yeah,
I know he didn't get chopped in half, but I mean, his body was so messed up.
Oh, he was a wreck. Yeah.
There you go, Putin's cat. He used the Force to keep his intestines in place. So the lightsaber did cauterize the wound. I mean, if he cut him right below we don't know where his intestines are all exactly.
Peter Cushing loves Star Wars so much he came back in CGI. Yeah.
That's true. It was I thought that was sort of what a dedicated actor he was. Committed to this craft. To come back in CGI after all those years of not being here in CGI.
And Stephen Mack is saying, they were made for children, like the first trilogy. I mean, yes and no. I think the first movies, because I'm kind of jaded. I'm trying to picture.
Well, lightsabers don't produce heat, but when Luke got his hand cut off, he didn't bleed out. But go ahead.
Yeah, it would cauterize. Yeah, but because I first saw Star Wars as a 9-year-old kid. God, and I loved it. But I think my dad ended up liking it too. But yeah, I agree. They definitely went more towards the kids in terms of selling toys.
Yes,
Jar was specifically in there, not just as comic relief, but they thought that was a character the kids would love. I guess, in a way, more for kids. But I think he had the kid audience in mind with the original trilogy too.
Yeah,
way more so. With the toys and the marketing towards the second one. But like my kids like Jar Jar, like a lot of young kids, really young kids, I think like Jar Jar. And he's such an annoying character for anyone that's older. But my kids didn't mind Jar. They're talking to 5-year-old.
Right. I'm not going to argue with Putin's cat. I don't. I agree with you. They shouldn't produce heat. But if his hand had been bleeding that much, he took a long time to get to the Falcon. So he was holding the bleeding in by holding his hand for a minute. How come all the times he took his hand off of it?
Yeah, I would think it would cauterize the wound. Yeah,
it would cauterize. But I mean, hey, look, I don't just. I mean, Putin's cat has a point. Lightsabers, I don't know. If they can chop. They can chop things. I don't know if it's heat, but what else is it? What
they can burn through walls.
They burn through metal, dude.
Yeah, they're burning through that metal in the spaceship in that opening scene.
Yeah, remember that? So
I think of it just a self-contained laser beam. So it's like
it's a
laser beam that only goes out 3 feet or whatever. So or however big your saber is. Yep.
Yeah. So
it's but a scratch.
It's but a scratch. People don't like Jar Jar, but I actually hate Watto even more, says JT. Yeah, Watto's terrible.
Yeah, Watto was not good either. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did produce heat sometimes. I guess they were inconsistent with it, maybe. But
yeah, because if it
like
did,
you said, they burnt through that metal. I mean,
yeah, and then the metal would heat, right? That metal would have to be, and they show the metal melting. They're not cutting it, so the metal is like, burning and bubbling. So, but those are all fun fan things to discuss. But I think there would have to be some kind of.
Well, I mean, they were sticking it through metal, so yeah.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be. Maybe it's contained in like or maybe I guess the reaction would produce heat, like as it's cutting. But it's a laser beam does not have heat.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
Yeah.
Once you cut something, it would melt it, or I guess then that would create the heat, maybe.
Yeah, like I say, Putin's cat. It's an interesting question for sure. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I think it's an interesting point you make because apparently they were a little contradictory with that. Yeah.
Let's see. Do lightsaber?
Go Star says that 70s rock band. What's up?
70s.
What you doing, buddy?
Yeah, nice win there. Yep. All right, so here we got the internet screen rant. Yep. Let's see. Let's see what they say here in screen rant. Of course, why not? I mean, I don't know how definitive this is, but let's see. Let me.
How hot is a lightsaber blade, and why doesn't it cause people to bleed? Well, you know what? When Obi-Wan, see, they don't think things through sometimes. When Obi-Wan cut Dr. What's-his-face hand off in the cantina, there was blood on the floor, but yeah, I mean, so maybe they weren't thinking things through. That's movies for you, right?
So they're saying lightsaber. Now this is not Lucas saying it. They're saying lightsaber blades reach temperatures of tens of thousands of degrees, allowing them to cut through almost anything with ease, even Swiss cheese. The extreme heat of lightsaber, and clam pizza too. The extreme heat of lightsaber blades cauterizes wounds, preventing bleeding. Even the slightest touch of a lightsaber causes fatal 6-degree burns, making them incredibly dangerous weapons. But but if something's is it just generating the heat within the blade? Because if it's generating that kind of heat, you couldn't hold it out like that, right? So that's if it's self-contained in the beam, I guess, because say you're holding something that's generating like 20,000 degrees worth of heat,
right,
or whatever, extreme heat, would radiate off. So I mean, how would you even hold it? How would you have your hand?
I don't know. And what if you're if you're on Hoth and you're stranded, you could just stick that thing in the sand and turn it on instead of all that heat and just warm up.
Yeah,
maybe, or you could light a fire with it?
I don't know. Yeah,
I guess you could cause a spark.
Made of plasma. They're saying it's plasma. It's heated to 10,000 degrees. Yep.
The heat would radiate unless they have some magnetic bottle thingy, as says Putin. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a fun concept, but I mean, of all the things in Star Wars, I love a lightsaber. Who doesn't? Even if they do, they're crazy magic-y.
Yeah.
Arm bled, but there wasn't even that wasn't. It wasn't even his arm. Ponda Baba. Yeah.
Yeah, trying
That's
to
the guy in the
remember.
in the cantina or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. He had a little blood though, I thought.
There was some blood on the. Yeah, there was some blood. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, that's a fun thing to debate. But I agree with Putin's guy. Yeah, you couldn't generate a massive amount of heat around that blade because yeah, you wouldn't be able to hold it. I mean,
Luke cut the Wampa's arm off, but they didn't really show much. But then also Han cut into a tauntaun. And they showed the intestines coming out and everything. That's, I mean, it's a mystery. It's all over the place.
I guess we're gonna have to do some research on that. Yeah, yeah, because it would.
People they picked this picture. They picked a lot of fake Star Wars stuff on there. So screw them.
Oh, that's
Last Jedi and Rey, and I know that's Ezra probably. Well, Ezra's okay. It might be Ezra. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah, but at least I'd rather see Qui-Gon Jinn than them.
Yeah, yeah. It'll slice, it'll dice, it'll cauterize your wound. But wait, there's more.
There's more. Kanekore apple. Oh dear. There were sparks, and then just intestines coming out. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Could have tightened his jacket. The thing Qui-Gon got burned through a door, but the original idea is just cut. Yeah, yeah, it's all over the place. Putin's cat, no question about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I never really thought about it that much, but
I haven't either because they're fun. I mean, whatever, I never blame lightsabers for anything. They're always cool no matter what. But apparently, if you're a woman, you could have one stuck into your gut and you're fine an hour later.
Well, because it cauterized the wound. Yeah, you're supposed to slice all the way in half. Oh wait, no, cut it in half. You still come back too. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, those lightsabers aren't much, are they?
Yeah.
If they chop your head off, does it come back on too?
Yeah, it comes back. You just use a little crazy glue. Yeah.
Watto's the best thing about TV. Wow, you don't like that movie, do you?
And it could not be reached as yes, they do cauterize wounds. Yeah.
I know where you're coming from, Putin.
Yeah. So do Blasphemous.
He had a burn mark on his shirt. Oh, okay, because he got it right through the gut. And unlike women, when they get it right there, men die apparently. And Django got his head chopped. That's true.
That's the Stars versus Rangers final is still on. Yeah. No,
go Stars.
Go Rangers. Yep.
Oh, they're playing against each other?
No. That's a joke. Yep.
Oh, what's happening? Wow, what do you mean? I didn't get it.
Hurricanes.
Is Obi-Wan hit Darth over the head, and did not 100% go through his skull? So that is that about what happened now? If in Obi-Wan, well, I can answer that question. I can answer that question. The Obi-Wan show is a piece of filthy garbage. It doesn't count and should be expunged from the universe in the memory of humankind. There you go.
That's Django. Oh, and then and Wes Kegels in Star Wars Clone Wars 2003. That was the first one that was on MTV or Cartoon Network. Lightsabers turn drops to steam. Not sure if work would turn to steam. Any other ways other than heat? Well, pressure would do it too. You could do that.
Not sure if we're going to be turn the steam over any other ways than that. Let's see. Of
course, the lightsaber wouldn't do
you
that.
Take a steam shower. Yeah. So you could heat up water really quickly, and if it's like a bucket, you could stick it in there. It'll just stick it on the steam, or who knows?
I guess, right?
Could you cook your food? Could you hold it? Could you hold it over your food or something, and make a hamburger or whatever? I don't know.
If you go to the bottom of the plate, your soup is all going to fall out.
Yeah.
Yep. I just ate nachos with Carolina Reaper cheese, thinking it would save time. My gut feels like a lightsaber got me. My goodness. And Fortnite, the lightsabers don't work in water. See, there you go. That answers it. Yep.
Okay.
Star Wars is back in Fortnite.
Wow, my goodness.
For a few weeks in. They always have Star Wars in May. So I don't know if it's a week or 2 weeks. Yep. Got to finish all my Star Wars quests. Yep.
Wow, shites.
But
Shites.
yeah, I mean, looking back 25 years, yeah, this was a good.
Yeah, a
overall,
lot of people. You know, when I went,
didn't hype though.
you know, when I went and saw it, we enjoyed it. I mean, there were things I didn't like, and I became more critical of it later. But I went and saw it a couple times that weekend and with my kids, and brought my kids back several times. In the first week or so, all my friends, we thought, you know, we liked things in it. We had problems, but we all liked it. And then more and more people were coming out saying how horrible it was. Like, man, like I missed the memo on how bad it was, because I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't think Jake Lloyd was very good. I hate Jar Jar Binks. I thought it had draggy bits, but overall, it was a pretty enjoyable movie. I'm not sure we needed it to be. I was not necessarily needing the Darth Vader origin told. It's not kind of the way I might have gone. For the most part, I was very well disposed toward it. And all of a sudden, everyone said, this is the worst thing. It sucks. It's garbage. And again, I have a lot of my dear friends hate it. And which is fine. And a lot of people are okay with the prequels, and a lot of people really hate them. And I have no problem with either opinion on that. I'm kind of like, I enjoyed it okay. And now I really do understand a lot of the criticisms of it. But it aged fairly okay. I think it's a decent movie in some ways, very flawed, with a lot of things wrong that could have been better. And now after how bad movies have become and how bad entertainment has become, I think it made it age a little bit better. For like, if I ever pop it in there and watch it again, I'll be like, yeah, it's got faults, but at least it's a movie trying to be entertaining and has some good Star Wars elements in it. For the most part, it's not anything great. And but man, oh man, that's what's happened to Star Wars. I'd take this any day. That may not be a good approach. That may not be the wrong way to look at it. You know, I'm not are lowering standards, but you know, Lucas and Disney did that to the standards, not me. So sorry.
Yeah, it's no, it was all good, but yeah, it's just not anything that story wise I needed to see, but I did enjoy that Duel of Fates, and I think who was it? Seth Green that made like a 45-minute cut of all the first 3 movies.
I think it was Topher Grace.
Topher Grace or something.
Oh no, he made a Empire Strikes. I mean a Phantom Menace cut. Yeah, I don't know about it may have been Seth Green. Yeah,
but what, you know, someone in geekdom made a I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't bet anything on it either, but made a you know, like a 45-minute cut that he showed to his friend. I think he actually rented a movie theater and just took the best parts out. and the third film is by far the best best movies.
The third film I didn't care much for.
Yeah, but overall,
overall
that's the best. I think that's the best one. But the excitement of seeing this movie. I mean, as a kid, you know, probably being around Jake Lloyd's age, seeing the Star Wars the first time, I can still close my eyes and see that ship flying overhead. I mean, it's not overhead, but in the movie theater, it felt like it was overhead. You know, just the way it was filmed, and the credits rolling, the Fox fanfare. For years, I thought that meant that a Star Wars. I thought the Fox fanfare, what meant that a Star Wars movie was coming on. You know, when you hear that drum roll, and it just took you to another galaxy. You were there, you were transported. And you know, even though the sound effect, you know, the theaters weren't as good back then, probably in terms of, you know, no surround sound, but you know, it was loud enough. And I can still close my eyes and picture being there and then going to school. It's like, I got to see Star Wars this weekend, you schmucks. Did you see? We've seen it 20 times, you know. And that store became an Apple store in our town. So sometimes I go stand there. I'm like, I think this is where I was sitting when I watched Star Wars. I think last time I was there, I always try to mention like, oh, you know, this used to be a movie theater. I got to see Star Wars here in 1977. Like, you must be old. Is that going to get me a discount on my iPad? But you know, just one of those things you just never forget. You just can't forget that. Yeah, storms are coming, Annie. It's probably the best quote outside of spinning. That's a good trick. Yeah.
You know, Max mentions Mr. Plinkett. His reviews of the movies are great, brilliant. Those are some of the earliest YouTube videos that I ever watched a lot of. And like he says, it was his review of Plinkett's review of, I don't know if you've seen him, But Red Letter Media Plinkett's review of Revenge of the Sith is longer than the movie, but so much better. They are his reviews are extraordinarily entertaining. I agree with most of what he says. I just don't hate him, and he hates him more. I guess I didn't go in with the kind of. I think part of it was I was still. This was 1999. I was still pissed off from 1986 at Return of the Jedi, so that when Phantom Menace came along, I was so angry about what happened in 1983. I still wasn't over it as a fan. So I saw this and I'm like, well, at least I'm not. I mean, it's not great, but when I walked out of the theater, I think I enjoyed it a little bit more because I was still had a chip on my shoulder about Rehash of the Jedi. And but a lot of his criticisms were I mean, are definitely. I don't disagree with him.
Death Star. What did you dislike
What's
about
that?
Jedi? Them Jedi.
Well,
you just
Hey, Clay.
Hey,
Well,
Clay. Yep.
Well, you know, in 1983, remember, I was a 19-year-old kid. I was running a comic shop for, you know, I was we had a lot of my comic shop buddies. We couldn't wait for the movie. We went to go see it. I'd waited 3 years after my all-time favorite movie, Empire Strikes Back, to see what happens. I don't usually care about spoilery stuff, but I kind of avoided most of the info. I didn't even read the novelization. I bought it. I didn't read the comic adaptation. I flipped it, but I didn't really read it. And I wanted to see what happened. And some of the stuff I did glimpse at in the in like seeing Ewoks and crap like that. I was like, teddy bears. What is this? I go see it, and it starts out. Well, by the way, I like it a lot better now. But at the time, I'm 19 years old, full of piss and vinegar, as they say, very, very, brash. And I'm like, I hate it from the beginning. I'm like, this is the Muppet Show. What the? Then Han Solo starts to act like Gomer Pyle. He is not. I called him Gomer Solo. I hated the way Han was scripted and written in that movie. Then we get the Muppets. We get the Muppets right from that to we kill Yoda and we find out the brother and sister thing. And at that point, I was like, "Are you?" I'm not going to quote myself away. In 1983, I said, "Are you shitting me?" I was just floored. I'm like, "Oh my God, are you crazy? What is happening here? What does he do?" I was
as a younger kid, stuff didn't bother me.
As a 19-year-old kid, when they were brother and sister, I wanted to throw things. I wanted to punch the theater. I wanted to go rip the movie screen down.
Well, especially the couple that got married just before the movie.
Well, but I was just mad. I mean, I can't give you a good reason other than I didn't like it. And then, when I settled back down a little bit, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, it's cool now. They're back together. And then I get teddy bears. I'm like, oh my God! I kind of heard there were going to be something like this. And like, I called it terminal cuteness. And then,
the way they walked was fun. I just want to say what Putin's cat said. Yeah, 70 million. Well, yeah, I know there were 70 in Dolby, but a little podunk movie theater where I saw it didn't have the best. We weren't in the big Metroplex with Dolby and 70 millimeter. Just a little podunk. But it didn't matter, though. That's what I was trying to say. It didn't matter that it didn't need, as much as I'm a theater snob these days, it didn't need it because the movie was so damn good. And of course, in the 70s when you're home, you had a 13-inch black and white TV and 21, 24-inch colors. So just going to the damn movie theater was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Hey Tom, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, Tom?
I'll just finish quickly saying then it ends up in a rip-off of the first movie, the remake of the first movie with another Death Star. I was pissed off at that movie for years, decades. So when this Phantom Menace came along, I have a lot of criticisms, but I got to see Jedis running around doing cool stuff. I hate Jar Jar. I hate certain things in it, liked other things, and I didn't walk out angry like I did for the last experience I had in 1983. So I just don't hate it like a lot of people do, but a lot of people really hate the movie. But now,
younger kid, like you thought the Ewoks were cute and they're little cuddly teddy bears.
I know, but I was 19, dude. 19-year-olds did not like Ewoks.
No, you wanted to deep fry them.
And I wanted to, and it wasn't even Ewok body count, which sucks.
Well, yeah, then they're taking on the stormtroopers became a joke too. It's not like they set a couple of booby traps.
Awful. They were destroying walkers and AT-ATs and stuff. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where they would maybe have a couple of traps or a couple of things that would maybe slow them down a little bit. But that's the whole thing. They made the stormtroopers a joke, and they codified that in the Mandalorian, where they can't hit anything. Versus, Obi-Wan in the first movie saying, stormtroopers, they're covering their tracks and they're talking about how skilled they are, and that they should be skilled too, right? They shouldn't be a joke. The stormtroopers, yeah. So
yes, indeed. The great Tom is here. What's up, buddy? So
yes,
yeah, this is why
was Attack of the Clones. Oh, I hated Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Attack of the Clones. I think the worst stuff is, of course, the Anakin Padme stuff is so insufferable and so cringy.
She's so bad at it. Woman's considered such a good actress, quote unquote, and she's so knows. And the funny thing was, I saw Clones. What it usually would do, I buy, back in the day, I'd go to the midnight show. When was it, on Thursday? It was a Friday at midnight.
We went to a midnighter. Yeah.
Was it Friday or was it Thursday? I can't even remember now.
Back then, I think it was Thursday or Thursday night of midnight feature.
Yeah, so technically it was Friday at 12 a.m. And then I would buy tickets for my family, to go see it the next day. So when Clones came out, there's this one scene where is it Padme? She falls out of the quote unquote helicopter,
the troop transport thingy.
Yeah, the Huey basically. And I'm like, watch her run here. Watch how poorly she runs. And if you watch that scene, I should actually just clip it. And because when you see a movie the second time around, like she can't run. I'm making fun of her running ability, but she was just horrendous in that. But I thought, Anakin, what's his name? Not Jake.
Hayden Christensen.
He was actually a little bit better, when they're dealing with horrendous dialogue. But
it's the dialogue that made him look even worse.
She's just horrible in those movies.
Some of the action's fun though, but it's just that's all you get out of that movie is some fun action scenes to look at and some great music by John Williams, and you get a nothing burger of a story, and that's even okay sometimes in a movie. But when you get unbelievably horrific dialogue and scenes, well, especially the stuff with Anakin and Padme, that just, man, oh man. Some of that
was that the movie fight in the arena? Was that the arena fight in that movie?
Yeah.
All right, so that scene is good. I mean, that scene is good.
Yeah, it's cool to see him fight monsters. All that stuff's fun enough. But you need to have some kind of story.
Yeah, the story wise, it's just
yeah, I mean, all that stuff's, it's cute enough, but you got to have more. I mean, but
yeah,
still, you can accept just a silly, dopey, fun movie. But when you drag it down with this, not only is it all those scenes with them are bad enough, then you end it with them getting married. I'm like, oh God, I know, because we need to have Luke and Leia born, but geez,
that was just a killer. A killer. Yeah.
I know people, believe it or not, I actually know of people. Let me say it. That's their favorite Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones. And by the way, I'm not begrudging anyone who likes the prequels. I don't care if you like them, but even if you're like a big fan of the prequels, of those three, how can that be your favorite? I mean, even one I can understand being a favorite over two, over Clones.
God.
But it's just a bunch of scenes strung together. If you take out all the cringy crap, then it's just, you can just turn the sound off, except you'd be missing really good music. But wow. Just saying.
Yeah, no, that was the worst, worst one. Yeah. And Tom, I'm sending you a link if you're still there. Please don't feel like you have to.
Don't feel obligated, Tom, but pop in if you can, if you feel like it.
For 5 minutes, but no pressure. And I'm sure you're very busy, but
been streaming. Streaming his life away like we all do. Make me feel like we're in the I mean, look, and there's another thing. I really don't like this kind of stuff when we say, "Wow, it's so bad now, but it makes old stuff look better." But I'm sorry, that's kind of true sometimes. Like something you thought was a piece of crap years ago, and you haven't watched it since then, and you watch the garbage we get now. You go back and watch it, you go, yeah, I mean, it's still got its faults, but it was easier to watch now. It's like, at least because when we talk about the prequels, all we talk about is the quality of it or lack of same. We talk about its artistic value or lack of same. We never have to talk about anything other than the content of the movie, and that's what we're here for. That's what we all want to be.
Yeah,
we don't want to have to talk about anything that to do with ancillary issues that shouldn't be involved in whether a movie is any good or not, or whether we like it or not. And so anytime, if I don't care if the movie's a total piece of garbage, if it's just that on its artistic merit or lack of same, I'm thankful for it. I'm like, I didn't have to worry about being preached to, and nobody's being called names because they don't like it or like it. It's those days. Yeah.
And who was the actress that was a double for Padme in that movie? I'm trying to remember.
Keira Knightley?
It was Keira Knightley, wasn't it? Yeah.
And
so that was
in Clones, right?
Oh, was it in Clones or was it in this movie? Oh, he was in Clones. Yeah,
it may have been in Clones.
No, I think it was in.
Could have been the first one. I think. Yeah, you might be right. I can't really remember for sure now. I'm the last. Like that.
The chat will
both or just TMP. He says both or just TMP. Okay, probably just TMP then. I thought it was both, but I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So
I agree with that. Putin's cat. I mean, she was a hottie. I mean, no question about that. Especially that outfit when they're on that. I mean, the one point it's a shame is there's a scene when they're at the dinner table, and she's so unbelievably hot in that crazy sexy outfit, but we got to listen to them spew dialogue that's so bad you don't even care. You're like, get out of here. Ugh. No one looks at this dialogue and goes, George, about this dialogue, dude.
You gotta fix this, yeah.
Seriously, the actors probably like, do we have to say this stuff?
Yep.
I got a feel for the actors. I'm like, wow, man. Maybe they didn't care. Well, they're getting paid. Linrod.
Hey, Linrod.
Episode 1 suffrage. Yeah, I mean, well, and again, I hate to say it. You hate whataboutism, but man, watch any Disney garbage and this is way better than that trash.
Oh yeah.
At least there are good scenes in it that you can in all of them you can enjoy. Like because I have a lot of issues with episode 3, and a lot of people think that's great. There are people that think that's the best Star Wars movie ever, and I'm like, are you lost your mind? As long as there's Star Wars 77, and as long as there's The Empire Strikes Back, and even Jedi, even though I hate Jedi in a lot of ways, even Jedi, none of this stuff after 1999 is even in the same universe with that stuff.
No,
even the ones you might like them, but man, come on, Davina Duckworth, hey there.
Hey Davina, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for being a channel member. Yeah, it's just, I mean, you always can like what you like, and certain things, like there's always movies that people like, or we always joke about me liking clam pizza, but on a certain level, that's, that's true for any kind of entertainment, right? I'm going to prove to you that blue is a better color than green,
right?
Going to happen, or music, but if enough people say that something stinks, I mean, I almost said Jar Jar Abrams, Jar Jar Binks. See what you did to me?
Same difference.
Jar Jar Binks is, basically reviled, by most, most people. There's no one who's out there is going to say, "Oh yeah, I think Jar Jar Binks is very, very few." So, that's how you can go with it. But if you do like Jar Jar, and Ahmad Best got to at least be on. Was it The Mandalorian he got to be on, or was it he had a nice...
I think it was that one. It was one of them. But by the way, I will say there's somebody that Jar Jar Binks is better than, and that's Jar Jar Abrams. I'd rather see Jar Jar Binks 5-hour epic movie than see anything directed by Jar Jar Abrams. Unless he directed it, then I wouldn't want to see it at all. But obviously, Jar Jar Abrams is filth. I mean, Jar Jar Binks is just silly and annoying. I mean, he's not like trash like Jar Jar Abrams is.
Yeah.
But now if Jar Jar Binks had actually turned out to be an evil Sith and stuff, I actually probably would have laughed at that. Rose Byrne was the decoy in Clones. Okay. So yeah, Putin pointed out that Kira was only in Phantom Menace.
That's what I thought from reading. You know, I don't trust my memory these days.
Yeah.
You know, I could tell you what the seat number when I was in Star Wars in 1977. Well, no, I couldn't do that. But
seat number?
I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking.
Numbers?
Oh yeah, they had numbers. Yeah, they had rows. We had rows. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have numbers. General admission. Natalie Portman says Star Wars has almost destroyed her career. Oh, poor thing. She's only has a production company and millions, but you were in Star Wars. So poor baby.
And Davina's never rewatched the prequel trilogy. Yeah, I've rarely gone back to it, but once in a blue moon. But
I watched them a lot back then, man. But then, like I guess when it would pop up on cable, if I was flipping channels, I might sit there for a while, and look at one when I had cable or whatever it was. But yeah, not really. They were worse than worse than I remembered. Wow, like I said, not many people like the prequels, but then again, you have some people that will gallantly defend them, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, prequels. Yeah, the prequels they attempted to be fun. Yeah, we didn't get any political mumbo jumbo or girl bosses.
Yeah, I mean, no girl bosses or anything.
Yeah, or boy bosses, right? You know, to be fair.
You just had characters, and they were all, you know. And you had some cool lightsaber battles. I mean, like, you know, Duel of the Fates. And you had some great, man, what was it? John Williams did some extraordinary work on those. Look who's here.
Oh, awesome. Thomas here.
Oh, what's up, dude?
You got me until my hamburger's done.
Oh,
right, that's
damn.
That's because I've been streaming all day. Yeah.
Done? Like you're making a hamburger on the grill?
I just threw it in the oven. That way
George, you have a
stench to it. What? No, I just threw a regular burger in the oven.
Thank you for stopping by, Tom. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good weekend.
Oh, hanging in there.
Hanging in there, good.
All right, man. Hanging out.
Good. Yeah, we talked to the Fall Guy.
I don't know how we got on this, but did you see Fall Guy, Tom? Or no?
No, I wanted to today, but I didn't get a chance to. It just didn't happen.
Mark sort of saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, well, let's just say I saw it. Yep.
I saw it last night. It had Lee Majors and Joanne Flug and had Heather Thomas, but it was the pilot to the old show. Yeah.
I started watching that. Yeah, or one episode I flipped on. I was checking my my DVDs, shall we say? But yeah. And,
I haven't got an answer back. Let me see if I got an answer back. By the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have.
And Lenrod is right here. He says green is better than blue because green.
Oh, in the first season. Sorry, go ahead.
What were you saying about the first season?
Remember you asked if there were how many of the Fall Guy episodes were out? My friend who knows everything about DVDs in the universe and has them all, and he would have them instantaneously. He says only the first season is on DVD. Some of the later ones are on YouTube. He says Target is putting Flash Gordon figures. Oh, that's a different movie out. Okay. Oh, okay. That's a message.
My favorite Dallas Stars joined the
Stars.
Go Rangers. Yeah.
Tom, I thought Tom's coming in. I gotta come in too. I can't let him have all the fun.
Yes.
Yeah, until his burger's done. Yeah. Don't burn your burger.
He's very fickle. He would turn you down for meat. He would leave you for meat.
Well,
I don't do the same thing. Yeah.
I would. Who wouldn't?
Indeed, I guess so. But anyway, yeah. Hello, gentlemen.
Were those first two seasons of Fall Guy streaming, Mark? Did you say?
The Geek and I said Friendly. They were going to be on Friendly, and the first two. Now I've read that the first two seasons were released on DVD, and the first two seasons you can rent or buy on Amazon. I was going to ask Tom. Tom, do you think they should have been smart and released the whole series on Blu-ray if they're coming out with a big movie at this time?
Depends on who owns what.
Could be, right?
Yeah, and also, because I mean, let's just assume that the company that released this owns the old series. That's a plausibility. Otherwise, I have no idea. And it costs a lot of money to do a show, scan them in HD and stuff like that. But maybe if the movie was more popular, it would have happened. But you would have think for some reason they quit doing that. It used to be like a common practice. Like you could almost bank on it if a new movie in a franchise was coming out. Like for instance, I remember when even when the Ang Lee Hulk movie came out, right? Like we got a whole bunch of stuff. We got like a bunch of the animated shows on DVD, and it wasn't the complete seasons, but it was just stuff. We got the Hulk movies and stuff like that and whatnot. So I mean, even then they were trying to promote it. Even when Spider-Man came out, that's when I remember buying the entire 67 Spider-Man series or whatever year it was it came out. What year was that, Clobby? Was it 67?
60.
Yeah, the original cartoons, you mean?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 66.
Yep, love them.
66 or 67, whatever it was.
67.
Yeah, because you can't get your hands on those now. They're very hard.
Oh man, I wish I'd have bought those. Man, buddy,
and actually, they're very good looking DVDs.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
they're beautiful. Yeah,
I'll have to hook you up, but yeah,
they're expensive.
Yeah,
You know what?
because they're out of print.
I don't know if I get in trouble for this, but I would, I still have hundreds of CD printables, and I have the CD stacker, and I used to copy my discs all the time and back them up. So that Spidey disc too. Yeah, the DVDs look great on that. So that's a valuable set now. That Spider-Man 67 animated set.
Yeah, because it was only out. Yeah, because it was out only for like 20 years. 20 years ago, it was when the original movie came out.
They need to put when would they put the suckers back out? This is ridiculous.
I don't know. You would think it'd be a no-brainer, especially for
Spidey. Huh.
I mean, and Disney owns it, and that they put out the original discs.
Yeah,
and that was they didn't even have like that was the funny part was even then, and that was kind of the point I was getting at is you had companies that weren't even involved with the stuff that would put out like, oh, we're gonna bank on the fact that they're putting something out. Well, we'll put out our thing that we had back in the day. You know what I mean? Like that's what they would do. Nowadays, it's like unless it's something that's streamlined, and even then they don't go out of their way too often to release something that's special for anything, like they used to anymore. Just sad, but once in a while we've been slowly getting some new remasters of some of the old TV shows. Like I got a nice collection now going from things like the Rockford Files to Miami Vice, and
oh yeah, nice.
Even Hogan's Heroes. I even got Leave It to Beaver and Andy Griffith now on Blu-ray. So,
nice. Yeah, they're putting. I got to get those Rockford Files. I got the DVDs of them. What's that, Mark?
Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me put the screen back. Sorry. Don't please, Maureen.
Holy shit!
There you go.
I got this in really good shape, actually.
Oh my god!
I've never seen it in a long box like that before. That's weird. Is that a
VHS or something?
No, I think it's just they put it in a long box. It's weird.
I've never seen it like that before.
Yeah.
Right, let me go. I think I have mine in the other room. Let me go.
That's nuts. I got
it's not 67 DVDs, but I see what you did there, Lenrad.
Yeah.
Or Lenrod. Yeah.
Right back.
Yeah, that's crazy talk right there. Wow. That's a lot of DVD sets are like that now. I got that Prisoner set for the pretty dirt cheap when it first came out for the anniversary a few years ago, and now it's great. The Blu-ray, and now it's crazy.
They're just doing Blu-ray, yeah.
And it happens to some sets, and well, not just DVDs.
I mean, like you don't really seem to care so much about the quality of it. Like, I mean, as long
I can't see anything. I have a shitty TV. You can't see anything.
That's what you said. And regardless of how many times I've tried helping you out with that, but yeah.
Well, no, I'm doing. I appreciate it, but no, I mean, my eyes won't improve anyway. So I mean, that's what you say. But I've got a bad TV that I do need to eventually try to get a good one. But
I don't have good eyes either. But that's why I bought a big ass TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this one, I think. Since we've had it's like a Vizio, it's a crap. We've had it about 5-6 years now, and it's I think it's got some kind of problem with. They have very limited controls on. It doesn't have many special. It doesn't even have. You know what? It's not even equipped to hook up an antenna to. And it's whenever the pictures like whatever, like if you're watching something in certain shots, it gets pixelated. I mean, the black screen goes black and pixelation, and then other shots it's perfectly fine. I'm not, and there's no way I can adjust the picture. So I think something's busted up in there, and it's occasionally when I go to a black screen, not in space, strangely enough, but other types of dark screens. I'm not sure, but it's an old piece of. So, and it gets the job done, but I need to get my TV that's like 14 years old that I have in the back with me. It's like a big ass old Toshiba. It works way better. It still looks better. Looks gooder. But I don't get to watch anything anymore anyway, except the things I review all the time.
I know what you mean, yeah. I was wanting to watch all the old Planet of the Apes movies this week. I hadn't got around to it yet.
Oh man, that's a good idea. I think I might do that soon.
I
Binge
gotta
my
watch
old
the other
set.
just because I gotta go Wednesday to the new one.
Oh,
I did-
yeah, they're going to the new one. Yeah.
I did get these in the mail the other day, and I actually got them watched. Though you might recognize. I don't know if you'll recognize this movie or not. Joysticks, kind of like
I
Porky's, but set
remember
in,
it. I didn't see it, but I know of it.
yeah. And then the other one, this one you
80s,
will
very-
remember.
Very 80s.
This is kind
I
of
like that
pertinent
shirt.
to what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Hardware was
Yeah.
you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye.
Well, now it's $14.99. You kiss
yeah,
goodbye.
you'll kiss goodbye. You bet your asteroid, kid. I love that movie.
Chinchilla, the
not a
Wookiee,
movie. Chinchilla, the Wookiee monster. I love that
the
movie.
Wookiee monster. Yeah.
Hey, Muslim Uncle Mark will be back in a second, and he will.
This has got a bunch of his other short films on it too, so it's not like you just get the one 12-minute short, but you actually get a bunch of other stuff on here too.
Does it have closet cases of the nerd kind on there?
No, that one I don't think it has. It has. Oh shit, my eyes are old. Here we go. It gets a bunch of different versions of Hardware Wars. Most of them are jokes, like the director's cut where it looks like all backwards, and you can see it from the other side. And then you have like the Hardware Wars Save Christmas featurette, Hardware Wars awards reel, which is actually like a
nice
Antiques Roadshow thing. Pork Lips Now is the other one of the other short films.
Okay.
From
Yes.
so parody of Apocalypse Now.
A classic.
And 9.1 from Outer Space is a
Nice.
new one that he did.
Very cool.
So yeah, there's a few things on there that's kind of neat. So you get a little bit more than just Hardware Wars, but
Tom, have you ever seen a movie called The Wizard of Speed and Time?
I haven't, but it sounds familiar.
You know about Mike Jitlove? Nobody knows who Mike Jitlove
I don't
is
remember
anymore.
that at all. No.
I was gonna say, that sounds
Well,
like
it
something
came
you would
out
remember, Brian.
around 89 or something, but the guy was trying to make it for like 10 or 15 years. And a gentleman by the name of Mike Jitlove. It's a brilliant, like, kind of satire of Hollywood and what all the things you go through, the Hollywood guilds and what a bunch of craziness it is. And it's a lot of fun. It didn't play in the theaters long, but this guy does nothing. It's about a guy who does practical effects. He's a real life special effects guy who tried to get into the business forever. He did a lot of short film special effects stuff. I think it's still on YouTube. The whole movie, I'm not sure. It's called The Wizard of Speed and Time. He started working on this.
You told me. Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
Mike
And let me I just want to thank your Muslim uncle very much. It says, "Hail Mark panel in chat. Go Stars. Suck it.
Go Stars.
Go Stars. Suck it.
We're gonna get Pavelski a Stanley Cup. It's gonna happen.
Who's sucking it now? Vegas.
Vegas. Suck it, Vegas. Mark will get this joke, but LTIR stands for Lost to Dallas in round 1.
Ooh.
And we're gonna play, since we're talking some of that Spidey cartoon. Oh, do I have that? I took that intro off, I guess. But
oh wow,
let's play something for
Brian knows about it. He knows about the guy. He had some stuff done on the Wizard. He did have some of his films on the Wonderful World of Disney. Mike Jitlove was an amazing dude. I always wanted to ask R&B about him because he probably knew him. Knows him. Yep. He knows everybody.
Well, let's play something for your Muslim uncle. Let's see. Here we go. This is a good one.
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Yeah, buddy.
Well,
and here I dug out my DVD here. So, God, I can't believe that set is worth that much. But here's my
that's
Spidey 67.
That's a different one though. It looks different from the one we saw.
I think it's just, or it could be a bootleg one, maybe.
They stretched. Yours is not a bootleg, but that might be. Yeah.
No, I don't know, but
I remember seeing this and wanting to buy it, but it was like $70 freaking bucks or something crazy.
Yeah, it was not cheap when it came out. I got one.
It wasn't cheap.
No,
I think it was like 60 or so bucks.
Yeah,
like
it was.
Bobby said.
So it wasn't cheap. Crazy. All right, yeah.
Because it's like 6 discs, and this came out early on in DVD. Because this came out at the same time as the Spider-Man movie, the original
Batman set.
Second one.
Oh man, that is so beautiful.
2004 is when this came out.
I love that. And that's my introduction to Spidey right there. And
this is in great shape.
Great song.
This is in better shape than mine. My kid got a hold of mine, so mine's been well loved.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go.
I made copies of my DVDs, and I only played the
copies. Man.
Thank you, Joe.
Joe's Atmosphere. I'll get that.
I can't believe, Tom, I can't believe you don't lock your child in a cage to protect.
I know
yourself.
it should.
Yeah. Look at that.
He's old enough now. He should know better. I can make him get a job and buy me a new one.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
That's nice, yeah.
I like that.
I like the red casing. though.
It's my fault. Uncle Ben is dead, and it's all my fault.
Why do I sound like the guy that played Donner on the Rankin and Bass?
Yeah, some of the voice work is kind of stilted, and so is the animation. But
that was the same guy. So, but yeah.
But now correct me if I'm wrong. No, Clobby, aren't these all like pretty much just verbatim right out of the comics, kind of like those Hulk and Captain America and all those?
Some are. See the Marvel superheroes cartoons, what you're talking about, the Hulk,
yeah.
Those were actually almost literally like snipped out of comic books.
Yeah, they're more like motion comics than they were animation. Yeah,
very much so. These are adapted some of the stories, but this was a different animation company, Gantry, whatever they were. Okay. Ralph Bakshi actually worked for them in Grey Morrow, just like Hanna-Barbera did the FF cartoon and had at least closer to real animation than those Marvel superheroes cartoons, and those FF cartoons were really closer adaptations. But those cartoons, Spidey, yeah, it does. I wouldn't say very.
What's funny is I didn't even know they did Avenger ones. I stumbled upon those one day on YouTube.
You mean the Marvel superheroes? You mean?
Yeah, I never knew they did them for Avengers too. Like I knew Thor and his mighty hammer and all that.
They were single, but they weren't Avengers. They were like Hulk and Thor and Submariner and
no, they actually did Avengers too, though. You didn't know that?
No, there's not in the 60s. They didn't.
Yeah, they did. You didn't see them? You never seen those? You sure?
Yeah.
And it's by Stan Lee.
Don't put that evil name on there. Well, it's your show. You can do what you want.
Yeah, just show the backing. But yeah, this is classic.
You just did that to trigger me. You know it.
You just had to trigger you. I got you. Yeah.
What's up, fellers? Working hard, I see. Hail all, says Joe. Shows Atmosphere.
Hail Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Well, so let me.
Where are you going with that in your hand?
Something for Joe. Let's see here.
Superman.
And how?
We're on our way to Boston to get some clam chowder.
Chowder.
Groovy.
I knew you were going to do this, Tom, you rascal.
Are these something that somebody... Did somebody make these then? These aren't real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, they took...
Drunk enough to make one.
Oh, I didn't see this. This is not the one I'm talking about then.
Yeah, but they did do one with... I saw they did one with... Then they put them like the Avengers. I've seen those.
No, but I swear there's ones that they did back in the day. I guess I'm wrong.
No, they were the Marvel superheroes cartoons. Well, in a sense, I mean, they were the Avengers, but they all had individual...
I thought they crossed over, though.
No, not really.
I think this is probably one of the better.
Not that I mean, there may have been an episode or two where you saw a couple of them. Well, I think they had like Hawkeye was in a couple of the Iron Man ones.
Yeah, you got Iron Man, enter Hawkeye,
so to speak.
You don't have.
Oh man, that's the original set. Damn.
Just
I got that too, but mine never actually. I was pissed because it doesn't make the sound anymore. It didn't make the sound anymore when I got it, and they wouldn't give me a discount or nothing.
Oh,
so
wow.
The DVD under my TV, but this is a great.
That's beautiful. That's the first set, I think, right?
What sound does it make?
I don't know. What sound does it make, Tom?
What sound does it make?
Does this one
it's supposed to go? I think it's either supposed to go either that or or it does the sound of the. I can't remember what noise does it make. Does yours still make noise?
Mine doesn't. I don't think it ever made a noise.
Mark's worn the noise out.
It's a button on the front.
You got the card set. Wow.
Yeah, I never.
There's a button on it. There's a button on it, Mark, somewhere.
I have a couple of those old
battery's
cards.
probably dead by now. Yeah.
They're pressing buttons.
I have some of those old cards.
Let me see the front of it again.
Is there a button on there?
I don't see a button. Maybe it's a different version.
Spin it around. Maybe it's on the side or something. I'm trying to remember where it's. Oh, there it is, right there.
There you go.
Press here.
Yeah.
Never even knew it was there.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
I don't know what it does anymore because it's probably dead. Because mine was dead when I got it too.
You needed Tom to tell you that, man. What's wrong with you?
Expert to tell me. The DVD expert.
That's true.
Look.
He is.
And you can't really fix it, I guess, either. So yeah.
Used it ever. I never got to use it ever because I didn't even know it was.
Yeah,
there.
I guess they had a really shitty battery life. I looked it up to see if I could fix it, and they're like, "Yeah, the only way you can really fix it is if you break it apart." Yeah.
Well, the engineer can fix it.
Rip there. Ugh. I'll have to glue that.
You already ripped yours, so you can just fix it now.
But I can reglue it. I can get we can rebuild it.
Don't forget that
But this is-
hamburger, Tom.
Cool presentation
Yeah, I
here.
just checked it here a minute ago.
I didn't even know that it made a noise. But yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
you
I can't
get in.
remember.
There's probably a little
Wow.
watch pattern. Let me check.
It probably had some like sound bites, maybe, or something. Or...
I think it just did the
Oh, cool.
Batman. Or like you said, it just did the
Yeah, that bit.
Probably.
Yeah, be
I
careful.
can't remember what.
That's the first set, though. I remember for years
Well, that was a big deal when they got that done because that was Warner and Fox working together, and they would have never done it now with Disney owning it. But yeah.
I remember being at least 2 different cons where Adam West and Burt Ward. I was at a panel watching them, and they were asked about the DVD set. Well, they're trying, but and it was like a year before this finally got announced. A couple months before this finally got announced. They were like, "Well, we don't know when it's exactly coming out because of all this," but finally, it did.
Oh, I can fix it.
I knew you could. You're the engineer.
Sweet.
If I pull this out, I can see the batteries. And then if I play it, I can get a strike on YouTube.
We don't even know what it plays.
Mark
but
suddenly dies with a 4 million volt electricity.
No, I guess that was a thing that a lot of people complained about is that the battery didn't last long.
Yeah.
Well, it's glued. This is glued.
Yep, that's what I said. Yeah, because I looked it up and people are like, "Yeah, you can't fix it without tearing it apart."
But it looks like it's taped over, and I see the bat. Yeah, well, I'm not going to do it now, but
Right.
Let's see if I can get this.
Let me know what it does when you get it, because I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll do it during. Let's
That's
see.
cool.
Can't see the light here.
Nice.
But speaking of, I think my burger is just about done anyway.
Go for it, Tom. You must be hungry like me.
Yeah, no, I love
like you
hanging
for
out with you
stopping by.
guys, and I appreciate
great
it.
to see you, man. I
Yeah,
know you
during
stream
the
a lot. I know you stream a lot, bro.
Go stick that meat in your mouth.
I will. I don't even know how much longer you guys are going to be going.
Not too much longer, probably,
I
right?
didn't
Yeah.
think so. It's like 2 hours already. You've been going.
Yep. So until I can figure out how now that you've told me this, I'm so
you
intrigued
changed
by
his
this.
life, Tom.
I'm trying to get this pried open. Come on, you. Oh, it's glued.
Oh,
Right?
you-
It's a tape on
I didn't
there.
hear what you said, Clobby.
I said you've changed his life. Now he's got a new mission in life.
Oh, it changed his life. But you said something about a wife. I'm like, I ain't got it.
No, me either.
There we go. Oh, I got it off. All right, because it's kind of that sticky glue,
so to speak.
So here, let me turn my camera on again. Because
Somebody wants to put up with me.
Oh, yeah, same here. But
I always love an engineering challenge. So
There you go.
here's the.
wow,
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad to fix.
that looks like you're gonna.
There,
need
you know what you should do, Mark? Actually, you should kind of half-ass put that back together.
Yeah.
And you should probably do a video on how you
Do a
fix it.
video.
Yeah,
good idea.
You know, because I bet you that would help out some people.
Thank
Because, like I said, a lot of people
Right.
complained about that. Yeah,
You're gonna have
Yeah,
to change
no,
the dilithium matrix and probably,
because then it helps to also know what battery you need and shit too. Because I've done that so many times. Try to figure out what battery you need. It just
what's in
and
there.
recalibrate the warp core and then antimatter antimatter.
It's like
pods.
Scotty.
I think we could repair this, Captain, but it's gonna take me some time.
Your wee
Hello,
engines.
computer.
Hello, computer.
Husky.
A keyboard.
Oh, how quaint.
Quaint. It could not be reached. Just said the same thing. Yeah, do a video. Yep.
My good close personal friend Adam West. I love him.
That's
and
right,
miss him.
chum.
Wow, these are thick pages here.
But
It was
old
clobbering
Robin-
times who taught me how to do the Batusi.
I said it's clobbering time, old chum. I love that man. He was always nice to me too. He was the best.
So you actually
Men
met him
die,
a couple
women
times?
sigh.
Or?
A couple times. It was,
Oh, cool.
It was amazing. He was so cool.
That's cool.
Including in costume in 1986.
Oh, wow.
Him and Burt Ward were there.
I remember he wasn't considered for James Bond for a Heartbeat too at one point, or
I think there was some talk, but they
there may have been
were.
talk.
But I think they were also at that point where they're like never going to cast an American in the role. So yeah.
Right. He had the look in the face and stuff, but he wasn't going to be able to do that accent.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't think
that
Adam West, bless him, could have done that accent.
No.
He's like, I love him to death, but he's like Shatner acting. Like you
He is
see
Shatner.
him because he's Adam West, right? Like that's it, you know. Shatner, you want to be Shat. You just want to see him be Shatner. So
Yes, he is that much. I hear you.
no, it was a great set. I can't believe they got it put together and it looks amazing.
Oh, it's one of the better sets ever.
Every episode's on there.
Yeah, they got a detailed.
It's weird to watch how it goes from the 2-parters to the third. What is it? The third season, Clobby, when they only did one episode instead because they had to cut down on the budget.
There were some 2-parters, but there were other like a lot of 1-parters and a 3-parter actually.
Because they actually showed it twice a week for the first 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Was it like Wednesday and Thursdays or Tuesday and Thursdays or something like that?
Tuesday and Thursdays for a while at first. A little bit. I was
for Wednesdays and Thursdays, maybe it was.
I was in diapers, but I was watching it at that point, but I didn't know what day it was.
They talk about it on the making of or whatever on there, but
I was less than 2 years old, but I was watching it, but I didn't know what days were.
Oh, I loved that show growing up. And have I told you guys about the Beatles thing with that and me?
What? No.
What?
No, the song "Help," and I know Brian would probably get a kick out of this story. The song "Help" I always associate with Batman, the original Adam West series. And the reason is because they had this, whenever we had a local Fox station when they first fired up, when certain times of the morning and, whatever they needed to fill in some space, they didn't have any ads, they would play like an ad, their local ads. And they had one for Batman because they would show it, in syndication there. And it was literally the entire song of Help cut to scenes of them being in peril.
Wow. Yeah.
So to me, that song was always at first associated. When I first heard that song, it was seeing, Batman and Robin and all these elaborate, like the big, big buzzsaw and all that kind of stuff, and it would play the song "Help" over those scenes like somebody had cut it together. I suppose just some engineer at the station just probably did it or something, but they would play it early in the morning, like when I would get up for cartoons and shit. So, because they would show Batman for an hour on the weekends. So that's why it was Sundays they would show Batman, but like they'd have the ad on every day. That's what I meant. Sorry. But yeah, so I was like, I just always associated that song for years with Batman.
That's cute.
Before I even knew who the Beatles were. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
No, it's and
I know it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but the other weird thing I remember getting in the car and that Spider-Man cartoon and that Batman show are some of my earliest childhood memories. And I can see why now, 55 years later, still love comic books.
Well, the only reason I know about those motion comic cartoons is when my dad worked for this one company. I've told this story plenty of times. He used to bring home videos all the time before they would even come out because they get them like a week or so ahead of time. And since they had a bunch of stores and they worked at the main headquarters, they would let all the guys who put together the pumps and stuff take home the movies early. So he'd come home with a not garbage bag, but a paper bag full of movies every weekend that were still in plastic and stuff. So like, I didn't even like the first time I ever rented a movie and got it in a plastic case. I was like, what the hell is this? Because I didn't realize that that's the way they came. Because I was always used to just ripping them up open and there I have the case to look at. One night I remember he had brought home a whole stack of the ones they must have brought out on video. I think it was FHE or one of those kids video things had done a bunch of the Marvel heroes. So that's where I'd seen Captain America and Hulk, Hulk, and all that kind of stuff. They had a whole collection of them. And in between, you had Stan Lee going, "Hello, true believers," and blah, blah, blah. It was like my first just introduction to all that shit. So yeah, it was kind of cool. I was really young, like 4, maybe.
But you just don't forget that stuff. Yeah, I remember getting
no. And I got introduced to Gumby at the same damn time too. So that was the other thing.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
Gumby was fun, yeah. But I remember getting in the car. As a little kid, I told my mom we had to wear seatbelts. She's like, "But our car doesn't have seatbelts." I said, "But Mom, Batman said we can't drive anywhere without a seatbelt." Because one of the episodes, I remember, I got a clip
Robin,
to get into the car.
You always must put your seatbelt on.
Yeah, and they're going, "But Batman, we're only going 2 blocks." Well, old chum, whenever it doesn't matter how far you're driving, you've got to wear your seatbelt. I got to clip that one, but just it's stuck in my brain forever. You had to wear a seatbelt in the car, and we didn't have the seatbelts. Just back then, we're never wore the seatbelts, right? I mean, it was just and you just it was always a short show, right? You had the 2-parters. It was on twice a week, or syndication must have been on all the time, or they probably played it back to back in syndication. Did they do that, or would they play the 2 episodes so you get the whole episode for an hour? Do you remember that Clobbering Times or
what now?
did they
What
play
part?
the 2 Batman episode in syndication? Would they
Oh
play?
yeah, they did. They played them. They had like an hour block when they first. I think the first time they started. Well, they did do syndication.
I imagine it
regular
depends on
channels.
where you're watching it, but
It
yeah,
depends on where. I think a lot of blocks did it as an hour block. For
Okay.
sure. But it was hit or miss. Some cities had it in syndication. Later in the 80s, I remember they started putting it on the we used to call it the Jesus Channel. Forgive us. Was it CB? It was a Christian Broad CBN or whatever. Actually started showing it. I think they used to show a lot of good shows on there, and it was kind of chopped up a little bit, but of course butchered for time or whatever. But they started running it on some channels like that. I think was it Nickelodeon that did it? It was way before there was something like was it one of those, what's that nostalgia channel they used to have? TV Land before something like that. But
Nickelodeon picked it up when
Nickelodeon
the 89
had it for a while. That's
because
right.
that's when they
Nickelodeon
started taping it. Yep.
And yeah, I think it was an hour blocks at that point.
Yep. They'd show it every night at like 6 or whatever, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
You know. And that would be the thing that would lead into Nick at Night, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a lot of great childhood memories. And we were talking about the Fall Guy earlier, and there's a nostalgia factor. Of course, this movie has pretty much zero to do with the Fall Guy series. I mean, it's in name only. So, but you still get that nostalgia factor. So if I ever hear, whenever I see that Spider-Man coming up, or you just hear that, it's like just takes you back in time. So. But Tom, you better go get your burger. So
yeah, it's actually been done for a little bit, so I'm gonna run. And you guys have a great night.
All right, Tom.
Cheers, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Later, guys.
Take care, man.
Yeah, I never knew that played music. God, how could I miss that? Inconceivable. But I remember when that Batman set came out, wasn't it? It was like a gazillion dollars. It was, and then I snagged that one on sale on Amazon for a nice, very, very cheap price, because the comic book shop that I would go to had it for a long time. It was like $200 or something ridiculous. It wasn't his fault, but it was just that was just the price of the price back in the day of that deluxe edition. So I wonder what that's going for now too. But no, it's fun having that. Yeah, and thank you for Tom for being here. So I'm sure everyone here is sub to Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge. But just in case you're not, let me put the link in there. All right. And Joe's Atmosphere was talking about the Bruins here. I don't know. We're going to see what the
the Hoons,
the Hoons,
the Hoons, the Ruins. Sorry,
no OT.
It's nothing to be proud of beating Toronto in the first round of the playoffs. It's expected.
Oh, it's expected, but it was that was a shock.
I know.
7 games, yeah, and they did pull it. They did pull it off in the end. So
I guess it was the delicious way that they did it, leaving it right to the bitter end in overtime in Game 7, just to give them enough hope. Just to give Toronto enough hope. Snatch it away from them.
So here's we're sports pucket for a few minutes because 70's here. We'll and Joe loves he loves the Bruins. Sounds like
he does for some reason.
But so you got who could meet up here? So you would, if Dallas gets to the final, you could have the Rangers and Stars in a final.
We've got the hardest route to the final. We had to go through the current champions. Now we've got to go through Colorado. Then we might have to go through Edmonton, for instance.
Gets retired.
You know what's really annoying is we've just finished our first round game tonight. We beat Vegas. We're playing again on Tuesday against Colorado. Vancouver and Edmonton, who wrapped up their series earlier than us, are not playing till Wednesday. Congratulations, NHL schedulers. Well played. So we get We get no days off. They've had like a week off, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just crazy. Vancouver, Edmonton should be playing Tuesday. We should be playing
Is that
Wednesday.
a TV deal, maybe, or a travel deal?
I don't know, but it sucks.
But it sucks. Yeah, yep.
So you know, if you're going to win, you got to beat all the best teams and play.
You got to
playoffs. And you got to beat adversity. So
they're from Toronto, not into hockey. Is that allowed if you're from Toronto, not into hockey? But from watching the news, I can tell you it's hopeful.
I'd have to say that Toronto probably should have won that series, and I think they were the better team. You know, Boston were not great, and unfortunately for Toronto, they've got these their core four guys just didn't turn up. Maybe they're the Nylander.
Yep.
So you've got all that money invested in guys that can score like crazy in the regular season, don't turn up in the playoffs. So that's what cost them in the end of the day.
Yep.
So.
And hail to Sentai Ranger Donnie. He says hello to Mark Clobby Bryan. And happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm translating here. And I think that means I hope you had a good day. My Spanish isn't so good. I took it in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In other words, hello. Oh, now here's the translation. Hello and all. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope everyone is well. And also belated happy Revenge of the 5th day.
Well, que sera to you.
Yeah. And Joe Dog is very excited for House of the Dragon season 2. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I was surprised by how good that season was. The first season. Yeah, so you could have. So the Rangers took out Carolina today. Did you see that? I wish I should play that replay of the second goal in the Rangers game.
I didn't see it, mate. No.
Oh my God! Track that down, or if I find it, it's one of the most beautiful NHL.
Well, I'll show it next week on Bourbon and Boarding then.
Yeah, Bourbon and Boarding, but it's the second goal. It was pass backhanded pass, like a no look pass from Kreider to his buddy.
You mean he was lucky?
No, it's just been playing together for years, and he could, peripheral. It was a stick, and it was just just an incredible.
It's going to be a tough series, that one. I think the Florida Boston one might be fairly cut and dried for Florida, but the Rangers Hurricanes is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, but that pass to Mika was just let me see if I can find a Kreider. Mika.
It's okay. Nobody needs to see that.
No. Yeah, it was just
I know. Well, I'll play it next Saturday night, mate. You should join us on the show.
Oh, here I would. Yeah, would love to be. Well, actually, next week is my son. I'll be away for my son's graduation. Excuses.
Always the excuses.
Yeah. Let's see if this is the. All right, here we go.
You realize that the NHL will stomp all over you for playing this?
Oh yeah, all right. Well, I won't do it. I got to call my friend.
I get like 10, 15 copyright claims a show and some blocks.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like this,
and
I'm going to go. Let's see if I put
YouTube Premium.
I do have YouTube Premium. Yeah.
Is it good?
No commercials.
Oh, I don't get commercials anyway.
And I get the music, and
I've got a great ad blocker, so
you got a good ad blocker. Yeah. Let's see, review. I don't know.
Pathetic excuses. Son's graduation. He'll graduate again.
He'll graduate again, right? Yeah.
Right.
But I'll see that he's set up here. Look where he's looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go like, but just that pass there. But I'm not playing the whole thing.
It's an no-looker, yeah.
But
through the goalie and the defender. Yeah.
Oh, it was just a great
sweet goal, yeah.
Yeah, it was a sweet goal, yeah. So I got a friend who works at the NHL, so I got to I said I was going to reach out to him.
Could you please contact them on my behalf and tell them to
stop
claiming everything?
Yeah.
But
I
even had, this is funny, I had a couple of shows like a year ago where I played a clip of John Candy and Joe Flaherty pretending to be Guy Lafleur and Darryl Sittler. So one's in a Toronto jersey, one's in a Habs jersey. It's an SCTV sketch. Woke up the other day and I had, you've copyright claim on these two videos from the NHL. for a game, a Toronto-Montreal game in April of this year. So that's how wacky the YouTube algorithm is. So I disputed them, and somebody at the NHL immediately dropped them. I said, "There's no game here. It's an SCTV skit.
Yeah.
Where's the game? Plus, the game was in April, and these streams were a year ago." That's how wacky. And I almost thought they would reject my dispute just because there's no comeback on them if they do. But they had the grace to say, "Yes, you're right."
That's
crazy.
Awesome. Well, thank God they did that. Yeah. And hail to Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Amazing.
That's what we
Monday.
have to deal with, us YouTubers.
Yeah, it's a hassle. Yeah. That's
So,
why I didn't play the bare minimum of it. Yeah.
Indeed. So you think the Rangers are going to go through them?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been 30 years since they won, and that's when we got married. I got married, so it doesn't seem that long, right?
Do it for Mark.
Yeah, do it. And I remember one of the funny things. I remember I missed part of one game because back then you'd go to a travel agent who was planning our honeymoon.
Mm.
I remember she's like, "Well, I can only meet you." I'm like, "Yeah, but the Rangers are playing," so I missed like Brian Leach going coast to coast.
Yeah, this is what happens. Irritating things like family tend to intervene with fun and stuff.
Right? And hey, the great Max Redstone is headed out. So
cheers, Max.
Take care. And this was a great this was a great line he had before I put it back up again. If you went to a theater, TJX theater, you heard the music and your ears are not bleeding. It was weak.
No, if your internal organs weren't bleeding.
Yeah, some of the theaters are pretty good. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Night, Max. Have a great weekend. Yep.
Yeah, cheers, Max. So did you say you've seen The Fall Guy, Mark?
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Wednesday. I'm going Wednesday to see it.
I think it was a B, a solid B. I think there was a little bit too much how you describe like banter between Emily Blunt and Ken.
Mm.
I think a little bit too much of that.
It was more than enough.
Yeah. Let's see. The Fall Guy.
Well, I'm gonna go see it Wednesday. So
yeah. So I mean, the stunts look amazing.
I decided to make the journey to the city to go and see it. I saw a great movie yesterday, though.
What was that?
Korean movie, The Roundup Punishment, which is the 4th movie in the Roundup series. Kick ass, really good, fun
stuff. Yep.
There is a cinema in Calgary on the far side of Calgary that shows one Korean movie a week. So we just happened to be in the other side of the city. So I said, "Screw it, we're going to go," and it was great.
Nice, yeah. Well, that's when you have those good theater experiences, and the non-spoilery bit, but this, she's the director of the movie and he's the stuntman. Of course, they've got a thing going.
Indeed.
And then something happens to him. Obviously, something's always going to happen to one of the characters.
Does he rupture his spleen?
He probably ruptured more than that in terms of the stunts, but he's surfing like the alien here on. But the stunts are fun. They said they try to do most of the stuff practical where they could, but it really has nothing to do with the TV show in name only. Name only, which is okay. But the one good
Nothing
thing
wrong with that.
Yeah, it's giving the attention to the stunt people that risk their lives doing this stuff sometimes.
I mean, at the risk of being shunned by the community at large, the TV show was okay, but I wouldn't say it was legendary.
It was fun. It was a fun watch.
It was okay.
And Marky,
I don't think it was the greatest thing ever, but it was okay.
Yeah, no, it was a fun buddy show that you watched, and
it's just another good. I mean, there were so many good shows.
So I enjoyed it. I would watch it every week. So, so Surfing with the Alien, the great Joe Satriani. Yep, love that album. Yep. So so there's some twists and turns, but maybe some of them were kind of predictable, but this is supposed to be a popcorn fun movie with stunts. Lots of stunts.
I don't mind it being predictable as long as it's fun and
Yeah,
not lecturing me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no lecturing. They don't. You watch. You let me know. I think there's one scene where one of the ladies is able to like beat up a guy that's driving, and when we get to that scene, you let me know if it's just me.
Yeah, but notice she wasn't able to actually drive; just beat up a guy who was driving.
Yeah. So let me know what you think. But
Well,
that
mate.
that was a little ridiculous. Yeah, but there's a German Shepherd in this who kind of steals some of the scenes too.
Well, I've seen the trailer where he says, "Do you want to go for a beer after this?" To the dog.
So dog, good scenes. Yeah.
My wife actually said, "You know what? We should go and see that." I said, "Great, let's do it."
Yeah.
Some of the other trailers weren't good, but that one was pretty good.
Yeah. So.
Oh, have you seen the trailer for this Chris? Sorry, not Chris. Channing Tatum movie about the moon landings, the Apollo stuff with Scarlett Johansson.
No, what's that? What's that about?
Oh, yeah, I'd never even heard of it until I saw the trailer. Fly Me to the Moon, I think it's called.
Let's see, Fly Me to the.
I think it's called Fly Me to the Moon. If I'm right saying. So there was a trailer for that. It's an Apple production, Apple TV Studios, but it's a movie, theatrical movie. And I actually think it didn't look too Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah, it didn't look too bad actually. Like it seemed like it had some potential.
So it's set during the
it's Apollo 11.
1969 moon listen. Yeah, so mission. Yeah. Kelly Jones, part of the marketing team to help in rehab NASA's public image, and he's launch director Cole Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, and the shtick is that not only because they turn the whole thing into a marketing exercise, you've got actually actors playing the astronauts instead of the astronauts themselves. And it seemed like they said, you know what, we're going to have a backup plan in case this doesn't work. So they film fake moon landings in case the real ones don't work.
Okay,
that's the shtick.
So this is the fake. That's the fake shtick stuff.
So I have to say, it didn't seem too bad, the trailer. So
Capricorn 1 then, or
but it's a comedy, not a drama. So
yeah.
But it's got Woody Harrelson, Ray Romano. It's not a bad looking cast. It seemed to have a few laughs in it.
There we go.
Very accurate in the 60s styles they're depicting, and Scarlett Johansson's appropriate with the haircuts and the dresses and stuff.
Yeah, you can see that's a 60s suit. You just look at that suit, so that screams 1960s.
It didn't seem overly woke or anything either. So, but that's just a trailer, of course. So who knows?
No, Leonard, I was just joking, but yeah, Capricorn 1 remake with OJ going to Mars. Was it Capricorn 1 going to Mars, if I remember?
No, I thought it was the moon.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Sorry, you could be right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it the Mars?
Yeah.
I had that down in the list of movies I wanted to do in my show, and I haven't watched it for about 20 years, so I better get around to watching it again.
Yeah.
It's Mars. You're right. Yeah, sorry. Jeez, what am I thinking? Yeah, it was Mars.
Yeah.
Peter Hyams. That's right. Yeah, it was a good movie. For some reason, it slipped, and I thought it was the moon. But nobody would fake a moon landing. What kind of idiot would do that?
No. Capricorn was going to Mars.
Yeah, James Brolin.
Yeah, going for that's how Kubrick got his lenses. Yeah, but of course there is a mirror on the moon. You can shoot a laser at it, and MythBusters did it, and they left it as part of a scientific experiment. So someday they're going to fly over those landing sites, I guess, to show everyone, hopefully, that they're there once and for all. That we did land on the moon.
Yeah. So they fly me to the moon. They do film faked backups just in case the real moon landing doesn't go right.
Yeah.
It's a comedy. So
yeah, it's a comedy. Yeah. Now the other series that I've been really enjoying, I think you shouldn't have to watch it, but you might You might enjoy it, but was From the Earth to the Moon.
I haven't watched it yet, to be honest.
For All Mankind, mix up my moon
For All
stuff.
Mankind, yeah.
Have you watched any of that?
I have not watched it. I keep thinking about watching it, but I have not watched it yet.
I would highly recommend it. Now, once in a while, it gets too much into the personalities, but you kind of got to do that in a TV series. So but there's a hard science in it, and especially the first season. So the premise is that the Ruskies. Oh, that's okay. It was spell check that did it. Could not be reached. Can't spell NASA yet. So the premise is the Ruskies somehow land on the moon first. Like history changes in small ways. It just they get there first. Unfortunately, they had some disasters in their program, Russian space program, and a lot of their scientists got killed and launch has gone bad. And reading up on it too, their rocket was never strong enough to get them to the moon, but somehow the engineer of their main architect doesn't die in that timeline. But it's a nice it's like a what if.
Okay.
So then the space race never ends, so then we have to get to the moon, and then it's like going back and forth. There's conflicts on the moon, and there's it's the Cold War takes place on the moon in some ways. So the moon keeps building. So we advance much more quickly in terms of the space program, in terms of technology.
Yeah, it's always been my disappointment that in reality, after the Apollo missions, I thought, great, we're going to move on to Mars now, and we never did. 50 years later, we're still stuck back on Earth again. We all thought that the pace of that technological advance would continue, because they'd won that part of the Cold War. They went, we're done. Shame, really. We should be on Mars. Should have been on Mars long ago. We should have had moon bases by now.
Yeah. So when E-Class thinks it peaked in season 2, but season 2, the end of season 2 was phenomenal. Yeah, and they always have some great stuff happening. Season 3, there was some good stuff. It goes up and down. The 4th season was more the stuff on the personalities.
I can't be bothered with that.
But also great hard science. So it's like they mix up the soap opera stuff, because if you're living on a base, you can't just have all hard science all the time.
Endless sex all the time.
No, there's no endless.
Is that John Lennon in that spacesuit?
John Lennon lives in this. So he doesn't go to space, but he's a lot. The future has changed in little ways, like the Ruskies land. Chappaquiddick with Senator Kennedy happened in the weekend that we landed on the moon. So no one paid that much attention about it that weekend. So what happens in this, because the Ruskies land on the moon first, they have like a blurb. They always have the news clips to get you up to date. And like Senator Kennedy comes back early from Chappaquiddick to go to the Senate hearing on the space program. Jeez. So then he ends up getting elected president. Because that he never Chappaquiddick.
Yeah, it's an alternative history. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had John Lennon is alive.
So in this one, does John Lennon have a #1 album with Band on the Run?
He's always in the news protesting. Yeah, and Al Gore becomes president at one point.
Protesting the moon landings. Leave the moon alone. What's it ever done to us?
Yeah.
All the cheese. It's great.
But I would definitely recommend it, though. I think it was there's so much, and what's good, it was a good show for my wife and I to watch, because it had enough of the drama and enough of the science where it was a good combo. It's not just Star Trek. This was a phenomenal scene, without spoiling it. But so we just finished the 4th season, and now, of course, we finally caught up. So it was nice to binge that all back to back.
But is there any hot sex in it?
There's zero G stuff in it. Yeah, no, there is some. I can't see what happens.
Is there aliens? I want aliens.
No aliens. Yep.
Oh, come on.
No aliens. Yep. Hello to Tim F. He's sign of the horns. Yep.
Hail.
Stopping by. Yep. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, no, great to have you. So, yeah, just give it a shot, like I always say. But her character was interesting. There's all kinds of character journeys and exciting things that happen, and there's a little bit of modern day stuff in it, but I think it's for the most part pretty well handled, and it kind of fits. They do make it fit the story. A couple of things I didn't like, and there were
Did they
also a
have?
few.
Did the women in it wear pointy bras?
No, they didn't. No. No, but they did have some great slide rules, though.
Did they have lasers firing out of their bras?
No, they saved that for the freaking sharks.
Anyway, I may give it a try. I don't have. Well, I'll be able to sorry, I'll be able to get a hold of a copy, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's Apple TV, but that's my
Yeah.
I keep talking about this show, but it's I mean, it's not supposed to be like a Star Trek show, but it's an alternative
No, I like
history.
I like the
Oh, wait.
fact it's trying to do a different history. Yeah.
So basically, it ends up we've got the tech that we can get to Mars in 30 days because they invent nuclear fusion reactors, and actually they find helium-3
Nuclear.
on the moon. Yeah, nuclear.
Has it got Koreans in it? He claims it's got Koreans in it.
The North Koreans are in it too. When they
The
play
North Koreans, they were there. No, we don't want those.
Yep. So, but they play a pivotal because they're one of the space
I meant
cultures. Yeah.
to tell you. I don't know if I told you this, but you've talked before about that North Korean kaiju movie. Is it Puljari or something? It's called Pulgari, the North Korean kaiju movie.
I'm trying to remember now.
I think it was you that talked about it.
Or maybe it was someone.
Pulgasari. That's it. Pulgasari.
Maybe it was Dad Man.
I don't know, but anyway, so there's a North Korean kaiju movie, Pulgasari, and it's been talked about for a while. I still have never seen it, but I read a book a couple of weeks ago, and it's about the director of the movie, who him and his wife were kidnapped by Kim Jong-il and taken to North Korea. He was a famous South Korean film director. His wife was a famous South Korean actress. And they were kidnapped and taken to the North for like 7 years. And Kim Jong-il made them make movies in North Korea. And this was one of them.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, here it is.
I read the book, the story of these two guys, this guy and his wife, real story. It's incredible.
Did they ever get away? They got away though?
Yes, they did. And that's why it took them so long. They had to basically pretend to, and in fact, throw themselves into going along with Kim Jong-il.
Wow.
In order to gain his trust so that they could then go to things like, because he wanted to win awards for making movies. He ran the studio in North Korea, the big film studio they had. It was all propaganda stuff, but they said, well, we'll make movies and we'll represent them at film festivals. First of all, in communist European countries, and then they got the chance to go to Vienna, and they were trusted more by this point, and they managed to slip out of their guards that were with them 24/7 and make it to the American embassy.
Wow.
So they'd been missing for 7 years. They'd been in labor camps when they refused to cooperate.
Wow.
But they'd also seen the other side of it, which was the Kim family and their palaces and power and parties and whatever.
When did this happen?
Excuse me. It was in the late 70s. If you ever read I read the book about it, based on their stories, and it's absolutely incredible. It's fascinating stuff. And the insight into Kim Jong-il, who every North Korean movie was propaganda to puff up the Kim family. and everyone was forced to go and watch them. The biggest box office in the world because everyone had to. And it was all propaganda about how the sun shone out of his father's ass. His father was still in charge of North Korea then. But he loved movies. He had a huge collection, and this is still 35 mil, of course, huge collection of movies. He had every North Korean embassy around the world borrowing copies of movies and copying them and sending those back to North Korea. So he probably has the Kims have probably got the largest collection of movies in the world. The funny thing was that he was the only person that could watch them.
Yeah, and you couldn't get
nobody else was allowed to watch them, and he had to get them translated into North Korean with subtitles. The people that did that were allowed to watch like 5 minutes of it and translate that, and then somebody else watched another 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
No one was allowed to watch the whole movie. But he loved stuff like Clint Eastwood movies and whatever. So he kidnapped this director who was a famous guy in the South, and his wife, and made them work for him, basically.
There's got to be a special place in hell for preachers like that.
And it's so. The book is trying to remember the name of it. I only read it a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, it's called A Kim Jong-il Production: The Extraordinary True Story of a Kidnapped Filmmaker. It's brilliant. It's one of the most fascinating books, and it's a real eye opener about in how life was in North Korea. At the end of it, he said, "I want to make a kaiju movie." Because he said, I'm not making propaganda movies. If you're going to make me make movies, I'll make like other stuff. Yes, he still had to pay homage to the North Korean system in it. But he said, I want to make a kaiju movie. And Kim Jong-il said, well, I respect you so much because I love your movies. You can make whatever you want, and I won't make you make propaganda.
Wow.
Yeah. And then because he wanted to win awards, so he allowed the movies to be entered into film festivals in Russia, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and eventually Vienna, which was the crossroads of spying, as we see from films like The Third Man. That's where all the spies were, because it was very close to Austria. Was neutral. It was close to the Czech border or whatever. So that was the place they picked to try and escape after like 7 years or whatever. They hadn't seen their children. The children didn't even know they were alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is the book? When did they write this book?
Excuse me a second. 2015. The book came out. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think there is a documentary about them too. I haven't seen it yet though.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
It's fascinating stuff, honestly. And life behind the life in North Korea. Incredible place. It's the most closed society in the world, and everything was geared towards the Kim family, who are the absolute rulers.
Wow.
And
so he did 3 years in prison. My God,
yeah. It was and it wasn't just a prison; it was an actual.
Imagine prison.
Would you call it? It was torture. He had to sit all day in a tiny cell without moving and not falling asleep, or they would beat him, so he could reflect on his crimes against the Kims and against the North Korean Communist Party.
They captured the wife first. She was abducted in Hong Kong during Proposition to direct a film. Wow, she was taken. Wow, and then because let's see. So she was given. And then the husband began searching for her. They were divorced and she had another family at the time. Yep.
Yeah, but he still cared a lot about her. So,
and they nabbed Hong Kong too. Yeah, of course. And North Korea was allied with the Chinese.
North Koreans kidnapped a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like thousands of people got kidnapped from Japan, from Korea, South Korea, Hong Kong, whatever. Just. They did whatever they wanted.
Wow,
it's a fascinating story, but
there's the library you're talking about too.
Yeah, massive film library.
Yeah,
it's a shame nobody else could watch them because they were West, it was all, can't let the people watch these,
I wonder if some of the films were ended up being lost films or something.
Well, there might be. That's
never know.
Excuse me. Especially some of the Asian stuff he had, which is possibly lost. But
that's amazing. Yeah,
it's a great. Honestly, read the book. It's fantastic.
That's
the
great.
best books I've read in years. I want to see this Paul Gassari movie now. I've never seen it. I didn't realize I'd heard about it, and I thought, well, it's made by North Koreans, but it was actually written and directed by this South Korean guy, and so it was not quite but he actually won a couple of awards for the movies he made in North Korea, which is bizarre.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, they probably thought his name was taken off it too. So I wonder if they knew that was him that made the movie. Yeah.
And that was the first that their kids knew that they were alive when they turned up in these movies. She's acting in them.
Yeah, I mean that's wild.
It's a wild story, honestly, and the things that they did to try and escape. And then if they got caught, it was like misery for them afterwards.
Yeah, you think you got a bad day, right? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you can go to a labor camp for 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally nuts. Yeah. How'd you find out about that? Just kind of came across it, or
well, I'm always looking for interesting stuff to do with South Korea, and I'd heard of this movie, but I didn't make the connection that it was a South Korean director kidnapped that made it. So it was just a crappy North Korean movie that they churned out, just trying to get a bit of foreign currency or whatever. So I saw I was looking for some Korean. I read a lot of Korean history, but obviously translated in English. And I saw this one, I thought, that's interesting. Read the blurb, and I realized it was the guy that made this movie. I thought, my God, I didn't know any of this. He was kidnapped. It's a huge story,
Totally nuts. Yeah, God.
Crazy stuff. You know what? I want a guy to make movies for me. I'll just kidnap him.
Yeah. God, I'll grab. Who would you grab? Yeah,
I'll just nab the biggest female star in South Korea and her husband. There we go.
Wow,
unbelievable.
It is, but the insight into North Korean society you get from reading it, they experienced firsthand for several years. It's incredible.
Where'd they end up moving after they got out?
They moved to America. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, they couldn't go back. I mean, they eventually visited South Korea again, but they couldn't go back to live there. It was too dangerous.
No, it's too dangerous.
And partly not just because of the North Koreans were angry at them fleeing. The South Koreans at the time regarded them with suspicion because they said they might have voluntarily gone to North Korea, and the enmity was so strong between the two Koreas that the anti-communist feeling in the South was so strong that they say, oh, well, we don't believe. A lot of people didn't believe they were kidnapped. Oh, you must have got because he was falling on hard times. That director, he'd gone from being the most popular director in South Korea with a big film studio to losing a lot of that money and being sort of cast out. He was looking for support and money to make movies, and he was in dire straits financially. So people said, well, maybe you just did it because you were offered a bunch of cash.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But there was other people were able eventually to back up their story. People that they bumped into at various things, or other North Korean defectors or whatever. So, wow, and indeed, it became a big thing in South Korea that these people were being kidnapped. So, lots of other people. So, they met people there that had been kidnapped years before, and they never saw again. They didn't know whether they'd ever got back to South Korea or whatever. So, it was quite an industry for the North Koreans.
Yeah. Well, you can do whatever you want when you're a dictator, right?
That's right. Yeah. Oh, and it's absolute control. Absolute. There is no dissent. Everything is geared towards not just the state, but the service of the Kims.
Matt G.
Yeah. So, yeah, great story. Check it out.
Matt G's
super interesting. Yeah.
Matt G's here and RR's here.
Yeah, I'm just away from the chat for 1 second. I'm getting ready to show some.
Okay. Well,
food.
hail Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and Doctor Who, meaning Matt G. And RRT and Z. What's up, buddies?
Thank you. Yes, I apologize for that. I'm just
No problem. We got you.
doing two things at once, but I'm getting
we got you.
Getting the food eatery ready to go. So we can do some.
I'm glad I ate something just now.
You did eat something just
I
now,
snuck
right?
something just now. I must.
Did you get some M&M? Something good?
No.
Or, something healthy, like
nothing healthy. But my mom and dad my mom made some great chicken on the grill today, and some great. My son helped her make some great sausages on the grill, stuff like that, mac cheese stuff. So I just had a little bit of a piece of chicken. So
you had a chicken nugget.
Good. No, it's chicken on the grill. Good stuff. Not even fried.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
healthy.
love chicken grill. Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yep. Good
sausage,
stuff.
some southern sausage, spicy sausages.
You like spicy?
Yeah. I like spicy.
You like spicy, but you like it.
Well,
like,
to a point. Like when I go to Popeyes, I always get spicy chicken instead of the mild.
Okay. So you like
but
a little
within reason.
Little heat, but not. Crazy.
I'm not like Rockford. Yeah, I'm not like Rockford who wants it really like a ton of Tabasco sauce on his taco or whatever. But
Yeah.
He does that.
That could backfire.
Literally. Yeah.
Yes. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So that can do some damage, right? Yeah, depending.
Yes, sir.
So it's but it's always fun to have that spicy stuff, and then kind of say maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? Like a couple hours later, you're like,
when is Kojak Putin Zach says Kojak? Who loves you, baby? You know they actually did a remake of Kojak, believe it or not.
They did?
Yeah. I think it was like
I did not know that.
Ving Rhames or something like that. Something crazy.
Oh yeah.
There was a TV show remake of Kojak for some reason. He might be referring to Kolchak, and he got it backwards.
Yeah, Kojak. Yeah.
There was also a remake of Kolchak that was garbage.
Yeah.
Remake of Night Stalker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when was that? That
6 episodes in the 90s or something.
Oh, we got another member chat from RTNZ.
RR.
Yep. Thank you, RR. So let me put that chat up here, and thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. What should we play for RTNZ? Let's see. Let's go to another tab here. Let's see what's good on this. How about this?
Would you like some toast? Some nice hot crisp brown buttered toast. I toast. Therefore I am.
Will you shut up?
Shut up.
Oh,
Hey,
so
I'll call the Brute Squad.
I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
yes. I toast therefore I am.
It's a trap.
And we're gonna do food here. This is a good intro for the food.
True love is the greatest thing in the world. Except for a nice MLT, a mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich when the mutton is nice and lean and the tomatoes are ripe. It's so perky. I love that.
I just can't not laugh whenever I hear that clip. It's just tomatoes.
That movie.
What'd you say?
You in that movie.
Oh, I can't have enough of that movie. That's just one of the all-time great movies, and I still can't that Raquel doesn't like it. But
You will never get past Raquel not watching that.
Yeah, she didn't even finish watching it. It's like, how could you not finish
did
watching
she?
it?
I thought she said she didn't finish. Yeah, she didn't finish.
I think she made it. It's like, I mean, Dumb and Dumber, I know. Yeah, okay. Dumb and Dumber. Okay, Raquel's never going to watch.
Right, that's not a movie for women.
I mean, yeah, it's just like,
It's funny, given it's called Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, boy. Oh, you didn't. Oh, you didn't. Damn, 70s.
That was vicious but fair.
Oh, we got some hush puppies. Oh, pizza. Huh.
Yeah, so we're going. This is what we had for the weekend. Well, I think this was last week. This was this was a good sandwich. We had the juice on the side. You dip the sandwich with the roast beef.
Something looks amiss.
We don't like the onions, probably, right?
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah.
I love that. I love. So that was a takeout. Oh, that was that's the fried dough. I've showed that before. Yep, those
Fried
are
dough?
low cap. Yeah, fried dough, like little beignets. It's a pizza place.
Oh,
Yeah,
that ain't no beignet though. But I know what you mean.
It's
Similar.
close, similar to that. Yeah, it's not a beignet, but it's
I got you.
similar.
No, I see.
Yeah. Then this is actually chicken I did on.
Oh, chicken.
On the. It's chicken, but I cooked it for a long time on the. It's not shrimp. It's kind of smoked, so it's kind of got a little reddish tinge there. But got it up to you get the grill and 300 for like 45 minutes, but it came out really good. I mean, it does look kind of funny there without the glaze on it, or I put some sauce on it, but the sauce kind of melted away, so maybe it doesn't look the best, but yeah, it came out good. So that was one meal. And then, Joe Dog, I got the flamethrower Burger King combo today at Dairy Queen, and a medium peanut butter cookie dough party. Oh, party blizzard, man!
You did good.
Butter.
You did good.
Now this doesn't look great, probably, but this is chicken on the grill, chicken thighs.
Buddy,
So,
that looks good. Yeah.
I mean, it's just not a great presentation there. It's just in the bowl off the grill.
Lovely.
My son scarfed a lot of those down. He enjoyed those. Yep. And then we had no, I didn't cook this. This is my brother-in-law cooked this brisket.
That looks good.
Now that looks like, yep.
Nice and burned up like oil. I like it.
Nice bark there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So here, I think I got a video of him.
Oh boy.
See how nice that looks. Yep. Yep. Look at that. Oh, it's good brisket.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So you can put that in a sandwich. You can do whatever you want with that, and then
just pick it up with your hands and eat it raw, but not raw.
That
but,
sure. That's true. That's not something.
Eat it as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that looks it's acceptable. I don't see any drivel on there. It's got the red spots are like this. Is that
I think that needs
pepperoni?
It's just tomato. It's just tomato sauce and cheese.
I think it needs antibiotics.
You think?
By the looks of it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Star Trek. Yeah.
Looks acceptable.
This is one of the better pizzas. Probably considered the best pizza place in town. There's another one that I like that's pretty close, but and this is this ricotta cheese? Was this ricotta or on it? No, I don't think that was ricotta. Probably mozzarella. So this is just
meat on it?
Sausage, or was
sausage? Yeah, okay. That looks good.
Crumpled sausage, yeah.
That looks good.
And put hot oil in it too.
Red shirt, top dude.
Hey, red shirt needs pepperoni.
I can, yeah. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I love that. Now that's beautiful.
I'll receive.
I love some pepperoni.
You're too far away to get it
Almost
to you.
like it was made for pizza.
It was made for pizza, yeah. So that was damn good too. But yeah, the crust on that's just a great pizza. That was funny. Red Shirt Pop said it's almost like I paid him to pop in and put that comment in at 12:56 a.m. my time, Eastern time zone. I'll flip to it. And Stephen Mack says, "Oh yes, yeah." So it's Griggs Street Pizza. Good stuff, yeah. So I got to show these to Nick. Post them in his. I'll post them.
There you go. Yeah. Up Nick's alley right there.
Yeah, Nick would like that too. Yeah. Whenever I see pizza and it's brick oven, so you get that nice, crust over the pizza. Yep. And then my brother also made ribs. So there's his ribs all done up. I still got a few of those left over, so I should have had those tonight actually. Pepperoni pizza is the bomb. Yep. Good stuff. Yep. You just gotta have a smoker to do this stuff, though. Like I always tease one of my friends tries to cook in the oven. I'm like, it just doesn't work if it's in the oven. I mean, you just can't get that smoke flavor, the same way that can do it. I mean, you gotta at least smoke it for a little bit. You could finish in the oven, but yeah, those ribs were quite tasty. Quite tasty. It was damn good stuff. And then this was Garden Catering, which is like a place. It's kind of like Raising Cane's, I guess, but it's chicken nuggets, French fries, and these are their cones, they call them. But it's like mashed potatoes, deep fried with a coating on the outside.
So looks good.
Super good. Yeah,
Nice.
good stuff.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
very good taste. Yep. So
Fries. And those are what are those? Is that chicken nuggets?
yeah, chicken nuggets, but they're chicken
Okay.
pieces. So
Where'd you get? Where's that at?
that's a local place. It's a chain in town, and like they've got 10 of them. So it's not a big deal like a Raising Cane's that's moving all over the place. But
Yeah, that's cool.
the chicken is their most famous thing in their fried chicken or
Yeah.
these are and they
I like
sandwich
it.
a deli. But the nice thing about it is they're actually real chicken pieces that are cut up by hand. It's not
Yeah, it's not McDonald's, those processed awful
processed that are
rubber things.
Who's that guy the chef that does it? Jamie Oliver, who's like trying to have people eating healthy, get people eating healthy food, and he was showing how they made chicken nuggets, where they chop them all, and then they like asked all the kids in like who would eat this, once he cooked it, and a bunch of the kids still raised their hands, because they make like that goop mix. It's all chopped up and then they fry it and they're like, yep. And the look on his face, he was like, oh no. It's like, don't eat that. Yeah.
Speaking of chicken nuggets, I just watched a very bizarre Korean show on Netflix called Chicken Nugget, where the protagonist's daughter turns into a chicken nugget.
Oh wow!
And they have to try and figure out how to get her
scary.
back, how to figure out how to turn her back again. It's batshit crazy. A little bit silly at the end, but quite funny. Most of it, yeah.
Don't hate her, I hope.
Well, that was one of the problems.
What kind of sauce? Barbecue sauce or sweet and sour or honey mustard?
Well, she ended up in a bunch of other chicken nuggets, which was very awkward. So I have to figure out
yeah,
which one she was.
What?
Pieces.
She ended up with other chicken nuggets, huh?
Yes, there was other chicken nuggets on the table.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Almost through movies.
It's totally batshit crazy because there's aliens involved and strange machines that
turn you into chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
God.
She turns into a chicken nugget.
Oh my God, that's insane. Yeah,
it is. It's an insane show. A lovely little show, but insane. It's got some really good. Some of my favorite Korean actors in it too. But
let me go.
It's called Chicken Nugget, so look it up. It's a good.
Oh,
show.
look what just by the StreamYard.
I love Stream Elements. Stream Elements is you're so nice to me. Stream Elements.
There you go. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Google that. Yeah, girl that turns into chicken McNugget. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what that even looks like.
I mean, the last episode is a bit stupid, but it's. I mean, then again, it's about a girl that turns into a chicken nugget. So.
It's just a show though, or it's like not a movie.
It's a series, Netflix show. It's like
okay.
8 episodes.
On Netflix.
Netflix, yeah, and it's
weird, wild stuff.
It's even got time travel in it, I think, if I remember right.
Oh well, yeah.
It's throwing everything in there.
Okay, so here as we're showing nuggets. Let me show. And then we'll get out of it. Insane. New drama might sound the oddest thing I'm able to watch right now. The Fly with fast food. Unexpectedly moving. Yep.
It's really good. I mean, the poor guy is his daughter. He's desperate to figure out how to get his daughter back. But it's funny. There's a lot of good humor in it.
Oh my God! I mean,
I love that it's based on a webcomic by whatever the guy's name is. He also did one called Killer Farts.
It's called Chicken Nugget.
Killer Farts. It's
talk as a nugget.
I don't know. It's
Can he communicate with her?
No, she occasionally wiggles a bit, but no, there's no communicating.
Is there a picture of her turning into a nugget, or she's in the nugget?
But funny because the actor, the father, Ryu Seung-ryong, is a really great actor, and he always seems to end up in things that have got something to do with fried chicken. Like, he was in a movie called Extreme Job, which was one of the top Korean movies last year. It made it into the top 100 worldwide box office, and he's an undercover cop running a fried chicken restaurant. And then he did a show called Moving, which is a brilliant show, Korean show about kids with superpowers and their parents trying to protect them from evil intelligence agencies. Brilliant show, one of my favorite shows ever, called Moving. And he plays one of the parents, and he runs a fried chicken restaurant in it. So
he must like chicken.
He's really stuck in this groove, this actor.
Weird.
Is
that her right there? Because she must be
That's her. Can't you don't you recognize the
actress?
Looks
like her. That looks just like her. But the makeup, I mean, I'm kidding. Of course, you wouldn't even tell it's her, really.
It's amazing how she managed to compress herself that small, the actress.
That's amazing. She's versatile, man. I'll tell you what.
It's just one of these batshit crazy shows that's got everything in it, and it should be a disaster, but actually it's cute and funny,
That is totally nuts. Yeah,
it's like The Fly with fast food.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna go eat some chicken nuggets.
Be careful. You never know what you're eating.
Know what I'm eating. God.
You never know who you're eating.
Oh God, that's just crazy. All right. Well, let's thank everyone that was here tonight, and of course, thank you to the awesome Tom Connors for stopping by for Midnight's Edge. Thank you, of course.
No, I'm not thanking him. Tom sucks.
All right.
Just kidding.
Yeah. And here's
he's my brother.
Tom rocks.
Tom rocks. Yep.
Tom's my brother. He's lovely.
Of course.
And someday we'll all meet in person, hopefully. But I want to thank, of course, my channel members who are kind enough to, among them are you in the 70s, Clobber Times in the 70s, for being channel members. So let me play this thank you video here. So thank you very much, everyone. Helped me to buy a few action figures and keep the lights on StreamYards here, which is appreciated. I know things are tight for a lot of people, so I want to thank everyone who actually, spends some of their hard-earned dollars here. So, but it does help make things a little bit easier and cover some of those streaming expenses. So much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. So 70s rock fan, what you got for your Monday show? I saw that.
Tomorrow on It's Only Talk and Roll, we're going to go back to one of my favorite times in my life, the late 1970s and the new wave of British heavy metal, where all these fantastic metal bands kind of burst out of the underground, and it was a lot of fun. Great period, really kick up the ass for metal and a revival of heavy metal as a genre, and then very influential later on with things like the Bay Area metal bands like Metallica and so on. So you've got bands that have they're still huge, like Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, and Saxon, but you also had a lot of other great bands that were very influential. Diamond Head, Venom, Raven, a bunch of other metal bands that made some great stuff. And it was a fantastic time. It was a lot of fun, and you saw a lot of metal rising to the top again, as it was moribund at the time, I think. So it was good fun. So that's what tomorrow's show's about.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah, Pre-style was called New Wave of British Heavy Metal Adjacent because they were around before, but they got a real boost and were seen as like the godfathers of That them and Motorhead were seen like the godfathers of new wave of British heavy metal. I won't be talking about those guys so much, but more about the bands that were specifically targeted by that in that movement, as it were. But Priest got a boost from it, but also inspired it heavily.
What time period were you? Late 70s? You're talking?
I'm going to probably cover from like 77 to 82.
Yep, that time period.
Yeah. So I'm going to have like my top 10 or my 10 of my favorite tracks from that era. Some of them are well known, some are a little less well known,
Right.
and then all the great names that the bands had in that: Samson, Tigers of Pantang, Angel Witch, Fist. That was a good name. Jameson Raid, Tokyo Blade, who made a bit of a splash in America in the MTV days. This is one of the earliest hair metal bands. They're all British out of that movement. Jaguar, that was a good. Praying Mantis, Blitzkrieg, another band that the Bay Area bands like Metallica loved, a band called Blitzkrieg. So, and Venom, of course, who not only were black metal originators, but actually the term black metal is taken from one of their albums, which was called Black Metal. So a lot of influential stuff going on, and these blokes from places like Newcastle and Stourbridge and other unfavorable northern towns, Sheffield. Yeah.
Bot must know you're speaking because it's not supposed to come up that often. No offense.
It knows you're here.
What knows I'm here?
12:59.
Oh, it's funny because whenever I make an appearance, it immediately it's not showing when I'm just in the chat.
Yeah, it's like you're
shows
on.
up when I'm speaking. It's weird.
Guys, we know you were here.
My show.
Yeah. And Clobber Times, what you got coming up on Monday?
Well, back on J-Man's channel at 6 Central, 7 Eastern for our Legion of Superheroes reviews. With Sean, J-Man, and myself, continuing our ongoing mission to review all the appearances of Legion of Superheroes for the Golden, Silver, and Bronze Age. So we're going to be here a while. And then Monday night, Marc C Comics Talk, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Probably just open comics talk. I was like, think of some kind of topic before that. And then the usual shows throughout the course of the week. So thanks for having me, dude. It was great being here.
Thank you. Much appreciated. And of course, everyone here, I'm sure, is sub to Clobber and Times, but if you're not, make sure.
I hope so.
Yep. And don't forget to hit the like button here, please, on your way out, as we at our way out. And Clobber and Times has some new membership levels. You can blame me, but
yeah, it's your fault.
So you get perks. Yeah, it's my fault, but check them out. And I force you to do it. So we made a bet.
I'm gonna have to get around to doing that now. I think I've been resisting it for a long time. It's just because I'm lazy.
It doesn't take that long to do, yeah. It's we always appreciate us YouTubers, Mexican Iron Man. We always appreciate everyone who subs, and you don't expect
Mexican Iron Man is the greatest of all YouTubers.
He is. He's a shining example to all of us on how to YouTube.
And you get to use all these cool icons here. So, Lisa wasn't here tonight. But we got all these cool with the channel. That's what's fun here.
Yep.
Pops up.
Yupper.
You got some fun ones here. Did they change the interface? You have to press enter. What happened to the arrow? No, they're always changing stuff. God, STEM engineers changing things all the time. On the chat, I thought there used to be a button you could click to send the chat, but maybe I'm just imagining it. But so thank you guys. Thank you for being here. And again, shout out to Tom Connors and Dadman for popping in, and shout out to everyone in the Geekery group. Courtney couldn't be here tonight. She sends her regrets, and I'm sure Courtney will be here next week. So sorry if everyone was disappointed. Well, actually, there will be no show next Sunday night because I'll be at my son's college graduation. So
come on, where's your commitment to YouTube?
Yeah,
bring my mic.
You're no Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah, no, not a live stream the graduation.
No,
yeah, there you go.
No commitment.
at
Slacker.
Midnight. Slacker, yeah. I did that one time. We were traveling with the family, and we had one of those suite rooms, but like the doors were like glass doors, so it wasn't as quiet as I thought.
Hmm.
Oh, God.
Like, you're being really quiet. I'm like, yeah, you got the evil eye. I better leave. You never
Oh,
want
yeah.
to. I mean, when you're streaming,
Not a
so.
biggie. So no show next week. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Way
and,
goes
and
sometimes, Duder.
well, the graduation is actually on Saturday, but we'll be
Out of town.
yeah. So I don't think I'll be. I mean, I might be back Sunday night. I'll be wiped out anyway. So
I think Mark.
take
I
a
think
day off.
you're making it up, buddy. It's not your son's graduation; it's your graduation. It's taken you this long, but you've finally done it.
Oh, wow.
I finally did. Yeah, I graduated expert clam pizza maker. I got my degree in clam.
There you go.
Pizza,
Yeah.
So, and of course, I want to thank everyone for their super chats. So your Muslim uncle, Joe's Atmosphere, and RRTNZ. Thank you for your
It is Mother's
super
Day, isn't it? Whoa. Wow.
Mother's Day. Yeah, next
Yeah.
Sunday is Mother's Day. Yep. So thank you for that. All right, everyone. So let's get on out of here. I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. And
Take care,
be
everybody.
safe.
Cheers,
Take care.
everyone.
Watch 70s and Klobby tomorrow. Don't
Stars.
forget. Go Rangers.
Go Stars. And Rangers.
And Rangers.
Go Stars and take the Rangers with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll both go somewhere. Golfing holiday, probably.
Yeah.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.